Hey everyone, this is Louis7 and I am streaming the Lord of the Rings online, and I am starting a new mini-series, and I have something. Alright, so I think I have been on mute that whole time, which is unfortunate. So the stream started and I was on mute. So let's restart this. Hey everyone, this is Louis7 and I am streaming the Lord of the Rings online, and I am starting a new mini-series called Burgling Annuminas. And the series is a little bit motivated by my kin's second generation progression group, which is essentially called the Grand Lobies. Instead of being the Lobies, it's the Grand Lobies. And what we are going to be doing today with the kin, ooh, I wonder what I need to travel, just discover that? Okay, we can discover that, I don't mind running there, maybe take a boat. But what we are doing with the kin, with that group, is going to be running through the Evendim instances. And I think today we're starting with Annuminas and starting the first Annuminas instance, and I don't know how that will go, what all we will do with that, because we have about an hour time limit to actually do that. Let's see, where do I want to go? I think I want to go to this place, Min Arain, which is one I have unlocked. So before we start with the instances, though, that will be the main feature of this stream, but before we start with that, I want to go ahead and get this character settled into an Annuminas, and I also realize my chat is not working, so I'll get that refreshed in a minute. There we go. So now I can see everybody here. And hello, Carsey or Charcy QT, and Chris and Gamer Lad. And I am not from the UK, I am from the US. I think my best way to get to Annuminas is just travel there. Oh, so y'all actually got some of the intro up to starting a new series. I wonder how I got muted then. That is actually really concerning on how I got muted. I wonder if there's some keybind that mutes that I accidentally pressed somehow. And the server I am playing on with my group here is going to be Anor. It's been a while since I played my Burglar. It'll take me a minute to get back to used to playing him. I really like the Burglar's gameplay. This is something from my favorite classes list that I went on about. The Burglar is a class that I should have a ton of fun. I feel like it should be one of my favorite classes, and I always have fun playing it. It's just a class I feel like I have to be forced to play, and when I am, I enjoy it. But I think it has more so to do with the class fantasy and some of that stuff that I don't enjoy quite as much with the class. And Yog Gregoth, you said that you love my work and you just started playing LOTRO, and aside from the map, you love the game. When I first read aside from the map, I thought you meant the map in my background right here, but I'm guessing you mean the in-game map. I like the map in my background, but yeah, the in-game map, it can definitely be something that's a little bit different, take time to get used to. I know some people have different opinions on all the different style maps. They have so many different style maps in the game as well. It's kind of inconsistent. To me, that is actually the biggest issue with the maps. The inconsistency of the different styles they have. Good old Burglar, just killing things super quickly. That is what my Burglar does. But I realized with this stream and the partially muted start there that I haven't talked too much. Let's actually Burgle something. Or not, he will see me. That was not really stealth-like there. But outside of the Annuminas, getting this character settled into Annuminas and starting with the first instance with my kin's group, the second part of the stream will be on, what was it? I put it in the title of the stream, but I can't even think what we're doing. Silent Street, that is going to be one of the new Gondor instances that we have on the server. I think I mentioned my server is Anor. So we just got the level 105 content. I did not burgle any items. Oh. This character is very rusty with the burgling. First was just seen in stealth, and second time couldn't even burgle anything. Now I just double-edged strike nothing. One of the advantages of the burglars, I could just run through this and get to the camp real quick, but that is no fun. Actually, could just sneak by these guys, but once again, that is no fun. I have to burgle them and kill them anyway. Oh, that only hit 2 of them, unfortunately. As far as quests I have, y'all might see I have a book quest up, but I am actually not doing that. I think all the quests, this is something I meant to look on the LOTRO wiki or something, but all the quests for Annuminas, I think you can just go here and start them. And also to, hello to not Day of Rogue, that is Daffy Rogue. Okay, that name took me a minute, but you said that you finally caught a Friday stream. Yeah, this Friday stream is a little bit earlier because we have my Kin's progression group again that starts at 7 p.m. server time, so 6 p.m. my time. And that is why I'm a little bit earlier this Friday, if that usually is the issue. But you said, okay, due to time zone, it is actually 1 to 2 a.m. your time when you stream. Which, yeah, for people in those general time zones, it is going to be very late. And a lot of the server is a Nor that I am on. And it sounds like you just actually arrived here as well. Annuminas is very fun. It's been a while since I've done a full playthrough with it, and that is my goal on this character, to do all the Annuminas quests while while the progression group is doing their things. In the downtimes that I have to play, during that I plan to do this. And also, I do want to point out with my microphone, it still is the same new microphone that we had in yesterday's stream, but if anybody still has feedback on that, I changed the settings slightly. Just made some minor adjustments after yesterday's stream and recording some videos that I thought could maybe help a little bit, but... well, this is quite busy. This is where your landscape difficulty, if you had a setting for landscape difficulty, such as the one that might be coming in update 30, this would be a very fun area for a class like this to increase the difficulty, because I feel like having 4 or 5 Ingmarum, however many there were, shooting at me should take a lot more than a third of my health down. And I didn't even use like any survival abilities, I just like went straight up killing them. So an area like this with increased difficulty, I would definitely welcome that experience, because there is some more difficult stuff with the way it is right now. I feel like we can skip past that group. But with the way it is right now in Annuminas, there is some difficult stuff. We just aren't quite to that part. There's some, I don't know if I would quite call it group landscape content, but there's some elite masters and the such which could be kind of group-like. I'm guessing back in the day, some of the parts of this were, you essentially did need a group or at least a couple of people. There's even this level 49. This might offer me a challenge. We'll try to kill the level 49. So it is 9 a.m. Saturday for you, Carcy. I don't know if that's Carcy or Charcy. LOTRO has me pronouncing all these CHs as like a hard C, kind of like a K sound. Let's try to stun him. He's going to deflect everything. Oh, there's my interrupt. It's F1. I might not actually be able to kill this guy, to be honest. I got a bleed on him. I don't know if I should kill the spider or even try, because he's going to deflect everything. Let's remove the poison. So yeah, 9 a.m. I wonder, that could be roundish Japan or Australia, maybe? I think Japan time would be more like... let's use this. Okay, we might be able to get through this. If I start playing the Burglar a little bit better, might be able to. Sounds like some people are starting to switch to the characters. We should start the whatever Annuminas instance. I didn't put in the title which one we were doing because I don't know exactly which one we're doing yet. We'll have to see. Australia. Yeah, it didn't sound like Japan. There was somebody in my kin, actually a couple people in my kin from Japan, and I think it would be a little bit earlier, their time even. Okay, we need to have some hips. It's really nice to have hips. And for people that don't know, hips means hide in plain sight, the burglar skill that has a very long cooldown, but you just hide in plain sight as the skill says, and even level 49s can't see you. Oh, here's some Wardens of Annuminas. Anyway, I forgot what I am doing. Oh yeah, I'm trying to get to Annuminas. I'm just trying to get to the quest camp. I'm of course in Annuminas right now, but trying to get to the quest camp. Also, I need to turn my monitor brightness up. Also, for the outlook, I have gotten so distracted on this character and trying to do the stuff that I wanted to do on him real quick, just get settled in at the quest camp in Annuminas, but for a little bit of an outlook for the stream, it will likely not be a very long stream. It will, more so what I mean is it probably won't go all that late, because I have some stuff that I need to do, and after all the group activities with my kin is probably when I'll be cutting out the stream. So whenever we do whatever we're doing at high levels, whenever we actually finish with that stuff, which would be the Silent Street on my Warden, it will again be a little bit of a variety stream. And for the very first part of Burgling Annuminas, I thought I would just get to the camp, get to the quest camp, get the quests, and run the instance with my kin, and then swap over to my Warden. I had a few options, I guess, of what I would do today, and ultimately decided this would work best. Okay, talk to these people, get their quests. So, Alanida, you like the classes videos? And they really help you decide about the next ones for you. I'm wondering if you mean like the class gameplay videos, or I've done a lot of videos on the classes like the tier list as well. Either way, I hope whatever videos there are, that they have helped you, and it sounds like they have. Okay, we're going to make, I believe my milestone might as well be Ekad Garthadir here, which is the Annuminas camp. I believe there's the Wardens of Annuminas traders, there's light, medium armor traders here as well. I don't know that I will be getting any of this, it's mainly level 50 it looks like actually. The only reason I would get it is for cosmetics, and I'm not really hopeful that I would like the cosmetics. Though it actually has a sort of neat look to it. There are the boots, and I missed the gloves. Has a sort of neat look to it, but I don't think overall it's something I like. I like this outfit for my Burglar. It's actually a Warden's outfit, just don't tell anyone. Anyway, it's a Warden's outfit, and it's from level 75, I believe, Rise of Isengard stuff at the Ox Clan camp, if I remember correctly. But I really like it for a Burglar, especially in this darker, shadowy color. And by the way, Yogg, I did not completely forget your message, only partially forgot it. You said hit the like button after 3 minutes of watching to boost the algorithm. I appreciate that. That definitely helps, likes, comments, all that sort of stuff. Helps with the algorithm. As little, let's see, as much as nobody knows the algorithm overall, there is the little information that that type of stuff helps. And I'm going to join my kin on Discord, and as usual, I will be on push to talk with them and have it playing in my headphones while LOTRO is playing on my speaker. And yeah, I'll be on push to talk with them. Okay, was making sure I was actually on push to talk, and I was this time. So I only have 2 quests. That is possible that that's all I need. Okay, some of the recent ones, like the one on my favorite classes. Either way, I'm glad those are helpful. I like talking about the classes and what I actually like about them. So that was an exciting video. And it does look like I got all my quests now. And I am on track to help Orchalwi throughout this whole area. And I believe we should be, hopefully, getting started. Yep, hello. But yeah, I guess while waiting for us to actually get the group together and get started with instances, I might as well start working on the quests. I believe I have to get some items, some hidden caches. I've done so much with caches lately. I wouldn't doubt these are ranger caches, even though we're with the Wardens of Annuminas. They just, I feel like they're ranger caches, because that is always what I am picking up, ranger caches. That seems to be a big theme in Gondor, at least. Rubble. Oh, hello, Awel. Actually, did not notice. I thought it was Alanada saying hello because both of your all's profile pictures are just a little bit dark, and both the names start with A. And yeah, if the Discord audio, if y'all hear the people in Discord talking and it's like really bad, y'all can let me know, but I just realized somebody was being a little bit loud, so I turned them slightly down. I might get this whole rubble quest done before we get started. So, Awel, you actually play on Anor, or at least you have played on Anor. Yeah, the server I know is relatively small, and a lot of the draws of the legendary servers in general aren't really here anymore, at least for me. Oh no, Urtawi, he's going to ruin my burgling strategy. I feel like he's going to be actively working against me. So you can hear the Discord mumble only if I am quiet and the game is quiet. I could actually turn the game volume up if it's bad, or if the game volume is quiet. I actually turned it down with the new microphone because I have slightly different settings where I'm like 1 decibel quieter. So if an issue, or it could be partially helped by me just turning the audio up. But that's the problem. I really like having open back headphones, so essentially the headphones they're open. It's very, very weird for me to talk without my headphones on and do that. I am in the group. I think we're still trying to get more people in the group, but anyway, with the headphones, they're open back, and I really like that because I can hear everything around me, and I actually prefer that compared to them being closed and like isolating out background noise. But the problem is when I stream and I have sound coming through my headphones, and you all might hear it, and when it's people talking on Discord, I have to have it loud enough where I can hear them, and preferably hear them over myself talking, because I talk a lot during these streams. Let's see, can we get through this without using a potion? And I believe with that evil guy, no. Actually, not without using a potion, but without using my cooldown. We are actually 10 minutes late, but that is okay. It gives me more of a chance to quest than I thought I would have. I have to defeat 40 Ingmarum. I actually need to defeat many more Ingmarum for the deeds here. So we have the Evendim deeds somewhere. Let's see, Warden of Annuminas, Warden of Evendim rather, that is that one. I've already done this many Evendim quests. Oh, this character leveled through Evendim. I actually forgot that. This character for the low 30s, low to mid 30s, I completely forgot I quested an Evendim on this character. Wow, you have to do 90 quests for that deed? That is crazy. I know there are a lot of quests in that zone, but I didn't realize the quest deed was going to be 90 quests. More signatures. Still doing a bad job burgling. I'm supposed to be burgling and I'm just like slaying in here. But that's a style I actually prefer on the burglar. Okay, there are going to be the Elder Ingmarum Gurtharig. I guess this counts as Ingmarum and Annuminas and not Gurtharig. Which I believe Gurtharig is the plural of Gorthog or something like that. So actually LOTRO does have a magic user, which would be the Lore Master aside from the Runekeeper. But if you're looking for one, if you mean heavy by like just another spellcaster that's very primarily focused on DPS, unlike the Lore Master being so support, and I guess finesse-ish is kind of what I would describe the Lore Master spellcasting as. If you mean something like that, I agree. I know it's kind of hard to fit that stuff in the lore, but just from a fantasy perspective, I really enjoy that type of stuff. That's why I am drawn to the Runekeeper, and in games like World of Warcraft, it sounds like you even mentioned WoW, I am drawn to the Mage and Shaman as well. Alright, we reclaimed this place. That was pretty easy. Oh no, half the group is leaving. I wonder what happened there. Oh no. I really don't know what happens, but now they kicked me out of the group. I think we're probably reforming is my guess. They might have had an issue. I might have missed what is going on. Okay. It sounds like they're trying to get the instance open. They said you can't open the instance without like people below level 40, but it's grayed out, but you can actually still click it, I'm guessing is the issue there, but we can still join. Even though Annuminas, the lowest level you can set it to is 40, you just have to have one person in your group above level 40 to start it. Oh, this guy's going to. Once again, can't Burgle just because of the NPC right now. I can kill the signatures really fast. I can kill the signatures really fast until there are 5 of them. Then I can just go like normal fast. While I have AoE, it's 3 target AoE on the Burglar. You shall. Oh no, I actually died. That is not good. I'm not supposed to die. Victor, besides dying, I am not good. Actually, I was just incapacitated. I didn't really die. Alright, we are doing Glingit. I will update the title. If this is the only instance we do today, I'll update the title, and also to give people in the stream context of what is going on a little bit. Today we have a couple people that are relatively new to group content, and some that are also new to LOTRO in general. And Yogg, I don't know if there's any achievement for this character for not dying, but yeah, not dying at all in Annuminas, that would be an achievement, just not in the game. And I totally blew it there. But yeah, we'll probably go a little bit slow. It looks like my class quest is available to do that and get the books, which might be relevant for an upcoming video if I get around to editing it. But anyway, yeah, we might be a little bit slower just because of that. And I think it's a lot of people's first time here, as much as the bears are zooming. There's some weird outline going on with the bear there, I guess just with the water. With the loading screen. Or... oh. I don't have any problem with I actually don't have any problem with any of these servers, but I don't see any issue with choosing the Gladden server, Yogg. I will say there are a couple people I actually know that play on Gladden, even though it's one of the relatively lower population servers in total. I am familiar with a few people that play there at least, and have not ever heard anything bad about this server. So for this instance, for people that don't know Glingit, you have to clear out these different pool areas. The instance is kind of sectioned off in these rooms, these kind of giant rooms, and you just progress through each one. You have to kill all the mobs and keep going up until the final boss is at the top, near the top of the waterfall there. I think you have to get everything. Yeah, it's kind of like Dire Maul. I was actually getting memories of Dire Maul here as well. It's oddly got a little bit of that feel. Somebody looks like a Warden of Annuminas, a ranger. I don't think that's quite the Warden of Annuminas outfit, but it's that kind of rangerish outfit that some of them might be something similar. Looks like you do have to kill the Ingmorum as well. Okay, maybe I will get a chance to actually Burgle. And I did not realize using Riddle took you out of stealth. Oopsies. Fallen Ranger. I believe this is for a quest maybe in the instance. I'm not sure. Oh yeah, we have to find a map from the Rangers actually. So this floor is going to be a gauntlet where you just have a bunch of enemies attack for a long time. I think it's a boss that a lot of people don't like, especially as a melee. I feel like this is a good fight for something like a Lore Master or Hunter or Runekeeper, that type of stuff, but probably not a melee class. We'll see how it goes. It can just be, I guess, a little bit of annoying. So you dig a lot of the art in the game, even if some of it is dated. You love the waterway and canal in the middle, so this thing that we're fighting on. Especially as melee. Somebody actually just mentioned in the group that they hate this fight, and it takes forever. This fight really is going to be long. And as a melee, you just have to run around to everything, rather as a range you can at least stand still the whole time and fight them. Oh yeah, I think one of the Bear Wars or something, I think sends them kind of floating away. When we go to Ingmar, you'll see a similar thing with some tentacles. It's really weird, but something the bear does, I don't remember if it's a roar or one of their attacks, they just send things like this floating away. Yeah, they're a lot of fun. One of my cats is very weird. If she is sleeping, when she gets up, she'll just go meowing for a little bit, like do a couple meows, and then she gets her food, then goes back to sleep. She is a skinny cat. She actually does not eat that much whenever she does, but it's kind of weird to me. She'll just be in what looks like a deep sleep and then get up, like meowing as she gets up, and then go and eat. I know my old microphone would sometimes pick up the crunching of my cat when they eat their food. Uh-huh. Yeah, it's actually fun. So somebody in my kin in the group is actually... do I have temptation treats? I do have temptation treats. They're a little bit far away, but I actually do have those. And what I do with those treats is I always throw them for the cats to get. I have two cats, two orange cats. And for them to get exercise and fun, I just throw them. And they chase the treats and get them. I think burglars have 2 range skills. Yeah, it's very weird not having hunters do all the work. They're talking about just this fight and how it is. And Andrew, I am enjoying the Burglar, and I'm also surprised it wasn't higher on my favorites list. It's a class that, I was talking about this towards the start of the stream, but it's a class that I feel like should be one of my favorite classes. And I always enjoy playing it. Like, I am enjoying playing the Burglar right now, but it's kind of like this class you have to actually force me to play, and once I am forced to play it, I enjoy it. That's kind of how I feel on it. And I think it has more so to do with the class fantasy, the stealth, and all that, and even though it is really fast-paced and you don't really have to do all these stealth and be very methodical in your gameplay, that is kind of how I think that is why, at least. So for people that don't know, on the Burglar, actually, the provoke skill is ranged. It is 15-meter range, so I can get a Dark Water from all the way over here and get a 1300 something crit. I believe that's also one of the stronger skills at this point to one-shot enemies. Surprise Strike. This is one issue I actually find with a Burglar sometimes, is Surprise Strike is very weak. I feel like it should be one of the stronger single target skills on them. And it just always feels weak, and the animation is very slow. I wonder why there's this weird border going on around all these characters with the water. But yeah, provoke is not actually a stab. It looks like a stab. Even the animation, it looks like you're taking your daggers and like stabbing an enemy like that. But you're just provoking the enemy. It's like a taunt on the Burglar. I don't know if there was an old version of the skill that actually was a taunt, but that's kind of the idea that I get. You're just provoking them. I know back in the day or I don't know back in the day, but I think back in the day there were some like fringe Burglar tank things going on. There's a lot of Dark Waters. We had a couple people split up and I was kind of being blocked by the ones right here. As long as I don't die, then all is good. The healer should like keep up here. But to get to your question, Victor, I think the oak is doing a lot of damage to me. Okay, let's get the one on the left here. I wonder if you can riddle a tree. Okay. One of them is riddled. Fellowship maneuver. I'm starting to do some Burglar stuff. Actually use a fellowship maneuver here, give us a break. The other one, it looks like it's still riddled, maybe. It actually is. Nobody broke that. This guy with the Warden's, the Grey Company outfit is really distracting me. I'm guessing that's Halifkin. I think they had an outfit either on that character or a different character. But anyway, Victor, to finally get to your question, you were wondering the best way to get Starlight Crystals while leveling. And that is an issue with the Imbued Allies, as Starlight Crystals are very important to get your DPS up, especially considering leveling. They're going to be very important, but while leveling, like regular leveling questing, you will not run into many Starlight Crystals. So what you have to do is either group content, or now you can do missions. Doing the weeklies with missions can be an okay way, but I believe Epic Battles, Stars of Merit, so you can get Starlight Crystals. That would be another way, and festivals kind of slowly, in my experience at least, it's very slowly from festivals that you can get Starlight Crystals. Perhaps some people have other tips as well. I think for the challenge in this instance, you can't actually kill the ads, you just go single target on the boss, but for us at this level, that's not really a factor. And one fun thing about the Burglar is there is always something to do. Even at this level, when you sometimes do have all your main skills on cooldown, you can even use Throw Knife just to get in a little tiny bit of damage. There's always something to do, which I believe is a fun part of the class, kind of agreeing with you, Andrew. But yeah, the way to actually get Starlight Crystals is from the auction house. That would be, I think it's an underappreciated way, let's see. Under something, maybe underappreciated way. Oh yeah, moats and embers, that would be two other ways, which is kind of one way, just two different resources that are kind of the same. But yeah, there's motes of enchantment and embers of enchantment depending what you're getting. I guess while leveling you might run into some motes of enchantment starting with Mordor. I have to go through that again to see if you still actually get motes of enchantment from the regular stuff in Mordor while leveling, but that is going to be one source. And also missions in the auction house. I think the auction house, for me at least with my characters, that would be one of the #1 things to spend gold on. Underutilized, that is probably a good word as well. I think it's just something people forget about. When I always see these ways listed to get Starlight crystals, I never actually hear people talk about the auction house, and I believe for Scrolls of Empowerment that's also a really good way. Wow, some people... Oh, they're in Tenuter. You might be able to still start it up even if it's grayed out. Okay, try and help the people in the group. Hopefully it works, and I'm not just spouting off nonsense. We'll see. Yep.
The Lords of Umbar, sorcerers trained by Sauron, the great necromancer, seek to bring...
So with the Runekeeper Yogg, you're wondering if a very skilled person using timing and regeneration would be better at using a Runekeeper as a healer, and probably. Runekeepers are... They can have some of the highest healing in the game. I think they can even have the highest healing output. As far as single target healing, I don't think their group healing is bad from what I remember, but you can do a lot of great healing on the Runekeeper. And I think, for me at least, the Runekeeper is the most fun healer. One issue I see with a lot of groups, or just compared to the other one, something like, you can actually click these. I don't think it does anything, they just have eyes. I actually just totally ran through these mobs on accident. I don't know what I used. Yeah, the Runekeeper could be like a main tank healer. I feel like that is my experience when I have healed on a Runekeeper and actually paid attention to what other healers are doing. I usually focus on healing the tank and keeping my heal over times on the person I expect to take the most damage. Now there are some, I wouldn't really say emergency heals, but group healing that you can use on other people and keep your heal over times. Like when the tank isn't taking a bunch of damage, actually using your heal over times on people in the group, so they, in case they start taking a lot of damage from area effects or just anything that might target a random person in your group, you can go ahead and have heal over times on them. It'd be easier to explain all this stuff, honestly, if I was playing the Runekeeper and healing on the Runekeeper. It's something I've actually been getting slightly in the mood for lately. And the spec for my Burglar packs is the red line right now. I do enjoy the blue line, and it's something I haven't tried on this character in a while. I know the yellow line would also be useful, but with the yellow line, one, it would actually be useful for me to play the yellow line just to get some class deeds done, can get the tricks done a lot easier. I could at least play it, maybe in this instance, enough to get some of my tricks done. I think I can use 100 a day. So I could even switch to the yellow line just for that. Let's actually do something useful here and get a big crit. So yeah, I might switch to the L line. I'll see if my second setup is actually the L line. Yep, it is the L line. So I should have a bunch of tricks here, and I probably won't play the L line like in an optimized way, not that you really need it for this anyway. But I probably won't do that because I just want to spam the trick skills to get my deed progressed here. And yeah, with that's one thing with LOTRO as well. Some classes their ability for some, I think, depends more so on your skill and how you play them. And perhaps the Runekeeper is one to like absolutely maximize your healing and the benefit you get out of it. Oh. Oh, I thought maybe you set up something special and I missed it. Okay. With the Fellowship maneuver, I was actually worried they mentioned that. I was worried that I actually missed something and they did set up a fancy one to try. Okay, we can try a fancy one again. And yeah, gear definitely plays into it. I think there are so many things going on in LOTRO where some classes actually depend on getting specific gear sets for how much damage they do, for example, or just how viable they are. So there are a lot of things going on in LOTRO, and that's kind of why I'm hesitant to even do tier list videos, kind of like the one I did, just because of so many factors. And I think it depends on what the people actually do. So there are even things like weapon swapping. I don't think the majority of players that I at least play with weapon swap, and that's an example of something that would negatively affect the champion and hunter, followed, at least that I'm very familiar with, followed by the Bear Warning, and their damage isn't all that great to begin with. Bear Warning might even be more significant than the hunter, maybe similar to champion, but anyway, if you don't weapon swap, it affects those classes a lot more compared to the Warden. I think it's a little bit impactful as well, but compared to something like the Burglar, at least that I am aware of, this is a class I probably know the least about in the game, to be honest, just because it's the one I play the least, and I don't see many Burglars overall whenever I play. It really does seem like the Burglar, maybe Burglar and Lore Master even, but I'm trying to think of the class I see played least, and I think in a lot of people's experience I hear the Warden is the one they actually see around the least, but for me, I feel like it's up between the Burglar and Lore Master, the two kind of primary support classes. And yeah, Fellowship maneuvers, they get really weak at high levels. Even at low levels like this, we can kill mobs so fast that they're not always the most impactful, but they do still provide some benefit at this point. I think they get pretty weak, maybe Moria-ish as well. And once again, as a reminder, just because I feel like I'm playing this class really bad right now, I'm just trying to spam 3, 4, 5, and 6 right now. Just trying to get to the yellow line. And when I switched to the yellow line on a Warden, my experience was around level 80 is when I made the switch. And that is true, Prax. Perhaps the issue with the Burglar is they are in stealth, and that's why I don't see them. This Burglar I might be able to see. He's not that well skilled in stealth yet. See how I am. Oh, I actually have that on the tracker. I have hardly used any tricks. Wow, I feel like I've used a lot more than 20 or something, but I guess not. Is this a trick? That is a startling twist. That is not a trick. I used to know what all these tricks did and the interactions you could do with trick removals, but it's something I look at maybe once every couple of years to remind myself of what the online Burglar does. But right now I really don't know. I think Dust in the Eyes is the least useful one for what we're doing, and then Enrage would make them take more damage. Disable is probably going to be a decent one. Enrage and Disable. Yeah, Dust in the Eyes is a trick skill. That much I know. That's actually one I sometimes pick in my other specs just to have a trick skill to work on the deed. Actually, I have a trait point. I could get trick counter defense, that would help with. I wonder why I didn't have that pick. This spec is built for completing the trick deed on this character. I wonder why I didn't have that. In fact, I'm going to move all my tricks. We're going to become very tricky for my keybinds. I'm going to move all my tricks so I'm not on like 6, 7, 8. Be on 1, 2, 3, 4 instead. Oh yeah, Dust in the Eyes followed by Startling Twist. So Startling Twist is a trick removal, that is right. And then you get the giant AoE stun and an 8-second AoE stun. That is like a huge stun. Yeah, you can have lots of buffs in LOTRO, especially if you have like a captain in your group who would give a lot more buffs. Yeah. Yeah, no matter what type of res. Oops. Just no matter what type of res it is, it's always helpful when I'm in the group. Wow, I've gotten teal gear during this? Oh, that's probably, we completed one of the instances. I guess I was getting level 40 gear the whole time. I thought this might have been from this one. I forgot about the first wing we did with the Annuminas. But anyway, I got actually a useful one, the ring gear. The level 40 one. I think that would be better than the yellow one I have equipped. Okay, we're still getting the beacons here. So Dunarkarn, you haven't played LOTRO in a while because of finals. That's a little bit... Uh-oh. I saw part of your message. But anyway, with me that's a little bit how I have been the past couple weeks. You'll have probably noticed a little bit less activity on my channel, and it's kind of similar. I feel like this is going slower. I don't know if it actually is because I'm on redline or whatever, but I actually feel like it's going slower and it could just be my playstyle. I know I'm supposedly doing useful stuff, but invalid target. I wonder why it was invalid the whole time. Okay, so, oh, you said you were going to go. I actually missed that part of your comments anyway. But it sounds like you are going to use this as background noise. That's what I do sometimes. I frequently talk. I don't know if I frequently talk, but whenever it comes up, I talk about me not really watching LOTRO videos. There aren't really all that many LOTRO videos anyway to begin with. But as far as like watching LOTRO streams or something like that, that's not really something I do. But sometimes when studying, I like background noise like that. Somebody else is already lighting this. I don't need to. Oh, we got through all the beacons. It feels like we've been here forever, but I actually thought we still had one more after that. Wow, my stealth is really slow in the yellow line. Are there Kurgrim up at the top? I forget. Okay, so we don't need to worry about the quest down here. That's true with the deeds. I actually forgot this character. It's been so long since I played him. I forgot I leveled him in Evendim, so I'm working on the deeds on him. Oh, can't go in stealth in the yellow line. It's way too slow. I'm glad you think, Yogg, that I have ASMR vibes. I hear that all the time. I guess that's a good thing. Do we need the cave claws for anything? We do not. Yeah, I think I finally caught it I mentioned the dwarf part, but that is true. I forgot about it being the dwarf starter zone too, because I always think of the elf part. Have you gotten to the West Rohan part yet? Oh. Yeah, it's an exciting part of the video. Somebody's watching. I got distracted on that. Oh yeah, somebody in my group was watching my zone tier list video, and I think they've gotten through Moria, but not quite up to Helm's Deep, which is an exciting part of the video, but in a non-fun way, I guess. Yeah, I wonder, I'm guessing you wouldn't count like the scaling stuff with that. Or would you? Oh yeah, there are event skirmishes in Bree, but I was thinking like the Wildwood missions could technically take you all the way to the level cap. I forgot about this part of the instance, this bridge. Yeah, there's a lot of content in LOTRO. I think it's, as far as the total map area size of the game, I think it's one of the largest in the MMORPG genre. Somebody got thrown off, by the way. That's what I was laughing about earlier. So at first this was reminding of Dire Maul, but now it's reminding of Upper Blackrock Spire. There's something about Blackrock Mountain in general in LOTRO. There was a zone that reminded me of it. I was somewhere. Oh yeah, on the eastern side rather, of North Ithilien, in the western mountains of Mordor. It looked a little bit, reminded me of Blackrock Mountain a little bit. I think somebody got lost when they got thrown off the bridge there. This is so slow. Did I maximize my trick deed yet? I've used a lot. I still haven't maxed it out for the day though. Evade enemy attacks, parry enemy attacks. This is just something you would get done over time. That's a lot of parries you need to do though. That is a ton of parries. It actually does feel weird to say that Mordor... It feels weird to me to say Mordor reminds me of Blackrock Mountain, because I don't think it ever really has. I've never made a connection to Blackrock Mountain with Mordor until I was like paying attention to the eastern side of North Ithilien, where it gets to kind of the black, darker rocks. And Dunarkarn, I am playing on the Anor server right now. That's usually where I play until new content comes out. I will go to Arkenstone, and like for example when Blood of Azog and Gundabad come out, I will probably play on Arkenstone for a bit, but mainly play on the server due to just my kinship being here. Okay, we're getting some burning Limmerfin. What are we doing on the other deeds? So this is another one where we're just going to be sitting here attacking these little fireballs for a while. Still progressing the tricks there. Reveal weakness, that is something I will get done. What was this one? Riddles. I actually need to use riddle a lot for that. I need to pay attention to that. This is something I'm not used to. It's been a while since I've actually played a character this long where I have to pay attention. Diversion, that's going to be an annoying one. You have to use diversion 500 times, wow. I just need to spam this sometime. In Dunarkarn, I do not ever play on the Gladden server. I know a few people that play there, but I don't ever play there. Yeah, there's also Poke this week, I think, for attack damage or something, right? Talking about the weekly codes, I think the Save Bilbo code for anybody that has not used that, it's going to be the time to do that is up. Even though I am pretty much always a VIP in LOTRO, I did that. Yeah, it sounds like a few people here are actually from Gladden. It's kind of odd because as far as I know, it's a relatively lower population server. I just know a few people that play there. And it sounds like a few of you do as well. So the fantasy biting from Tolkien, I wonder if you're talking about Blackrock Mountain and Mordor, or if you just mean it being in the reverse, that Blackrock Mountain should remind you of Mordor because Tolkien is kind of, or fantasy in general, maybe started a little bit from Tolkien. Or if that has to do when we were talking about magical classes earlier, and it's hard to fit magic classes in the lore with Lord of the Rings, and then there's a lot of fantasy that I talked about with like magic classes. We'll go, wow, even another person that plays on Gladden, what declined by the way, or declined BTW. I just convert the BTW to by the way, and KN Riggs, you play there as well. I haven't really heard much about Gladden. I've never heard anything bad about it. So all of the above there, Yogg. That is good. I covered like every single point that I could think of anyway. How are we doing with this deed? How is it still going? That is crazy. I honestly thought you could only do 100 a day. Maybe you can do 200, maybe it's 20%. I thought all the deeds though were 10% you could do. It would essentially take you 10 days if you maxed out the deed. For the limit you could do at 10. In 10 days, but this started at the low 300, I thought. Okay, so I actually did get it with, by the way. It's just every time I see that, I just say the full non-acronym part. I think we are dying. I wonder what damage type I have. That will actually come into play here. I don't know if it's... I have Westerness and Ancient Dwarf Make. I feel like you need Balerion, though. I might have a weapon with Balerion. Probably not the white one. This has common damage. So Gladden is the chill server. That sounds like a server I would actually like then. If it's kind of calm and chill. So I really like the daggers I have the cosmetic. I think it's the Egglane ones. Yeah, Dagger of the Egglane Soldier. So, let's see, this guy, accept Westerness damage. So Westerness is the one you need. So that is really good. My primary weapon is going to be Westerness. Okay, so Yogg, what you meant was that when you try out a new MMO, like anything from Elder Scrolls Online to Final Fantasy 14, so most of the Western fantasy revolves around Tolkien. Okay. Yeah, I think it's something I hear a lot. Okay, so I do have Westerness damage. Should I focus on Valandil then? Okay. Oh, that guy has a sword that seems very familiar. He has the same weapons that I do. These weapons are crazy. I'm level 39, and I'm still using the weapons I got at level 25. That is how crazy these weapons are. You can get item level 40 weapons at 25 doing the Fornos instances and doing the quests that you get from the Fields of Fornos. I'm attacking the wrong one because I am a noob. And I'm in the bad area. Oh, I am so bad. That was not good. That was not good burglar stuff. And also I should have switched to the red line because I'm not going to be nearly as useful in this spec. I don't know if it was actually good to fellowship maneuver him there. Also, he was immune. But yeah, maybe it's thematic for the group. I don't know if anybody in my group like plays poorly, but just because they're new, I feel like I'm being one of those not so good players right now. And usually I try to play better than this, essentially. So we still have the healer up. That is a good thing. Anyway, looking at my trick steed, it is going all the way up to 490, so maybe I can use like 200 of those. Now we're getting Scarlet Monastery Citadel. Did I say monastery? That is an old habit that I developed when I was young, to call Scarlet Monastery instead. And it's just something that apparently I still occasionally say. Yeah, the level 40 instance weapons are not as good as my level 25 quest weapons. Okay, so I think we are done. With this, I'm probably going to switch over to Silent Street for the next main thing. We got 2 of the Annuminas instances then, though. There are 3 wings total to the instance, and we got 2 of them done. Okay, try to get more of my trick steed done while I can. Just defeat some Ingmorum. Also, I think I have this trick removal skill called Mischievous Glee. It restores some of my own morale. It doesn't restore group morale. I thought this skill used to restore group morale. Maybe it doesn't anymore. I really thought that's the way it worked. It would put like a heal over time on your group, but yeah, removes an active trick, will never miss, and it just restores 10% of max morale, so I think it's just a self-heal now. Yeah, my bags are very terrifying. I don't think I did, but you can just pretend I did. Okay. I will ask, is it a few more people where, because I didn't sign up, would it be too many people? Or am I safe? Okay. Yeah, I don't remember signing up at least. I think I forgot to. So for people that don't know, with my kin, we have the sign up thing to sign up for group content. But lately it hasn't really been an issue where we'd actually get full, and sometimes I forget to sign up, and I know other people do as well. It used to actually be an issue where our groups would get full, even like 12-man raids would get full, and signing up was important, but it's been a little bit less so lately, so I will sometimes forget like that. But it sounds like there are enough spots. Just a brief concern. So how did we do on the trick steed? We actually did cap that. We got to 519. I'm guessing I was able to get 200 of those. Ingmorum Middlemen or Numenorians. I don't think they're Numenorians. I don't know about Middlemen, But as far as I know, they are not Numenorians. It was explained once. I don't even remember by who, or if it was somebody in like a stream and chat like this, or where I heard that from, but I do not believe they're going to be Numenorian. They might be descendants, like slightly weaker versions of Numenorians in a way. I might have heard something like that. And by the way, for the second part of the stream, I mentioned we were doing Silent Street, so that will be on my Warden. And once again with the stream, I don't know how long we'll be running our group content today. It could be an hour, 2 hours. It's a little bit inconsistent lately. But what was I going to say? Oh yeah, this will be the second part of the stream, and I probably won't go back to Ingmar on my Burglar so I can get all the stuff I need to done. Hello. Oh, my bags. How about my bags on this character? A little bit better than it used to be. Actually, a lot better than it used to be, but still not quite ideal. I don't intend to do much questing on this Warden because it is not a Warden's Gondor part. It doesn't really matter too much. Like, it's not like just because this isn't a Warden's Gondor stream part, I wouldn't mind doing some Gondor stuff. In fact, we're doing a Gondor instance, but the main thing today was going to be kind of settling in, as much settling in as I did there in Annuminas, and getting that started, because it is something I want to do in the future. So they are Dunedain descendants, the Ingmarum. Dunedain, I'm trying to remember where I've seen Dunedain from in the game. Big Minas Tirith is in the game, and not only big Minas Tirith, I'd say ginormous Minas Tirith is in the game, and it causes some big lag sometimes. What am I doing here? I don't really intend to do the anniversary stuff. I've gotten most of the rewards I want from that. I wanted my subscriber town services. And the other thing I want to do is just travel to Gondor, actually go to go there. Go to After Battle Minas Tirith area, so I can go to a task board and turn in some tasks. Okay, so Aragorn and the other rangers are Dunedain, actually. Oh, we're actually going to Minas Tirith. I didn't even realize connect the whole Minas Tirith to we're going to Minas Tirith. This is the after battle version of Minas Tirith, and also it's nighttime, so we can't really see all that much of it. But yeah, that is after battle Minas Tirith there. The Lore Master is going to be the class that lags the game for everyone else with their spells. It used to be worse. Ring of Fire used to be an AoE skill where you would have a Ring of Fire for every single enemy that was hit by the AoE, and now the new version of it is it's just one Ring of Fire. No matter how many enemies and whatever gets hit by it still gets hit by it, but it's just one Ring of Fire, and that was something that caused a lot of lag. I know that specific skill did. I want moldy skins, I believe. I don't know how gross this is. Actually, it's really gross. That was not the way I meant to start that sentence, but just how gross it is that I'm carrying around 55 moldy skins in my inventory. Think about my bags being a mess and giving anxiety. Just think about carrying moldy skins around your bag and letting that come into contact with all these other things. That is... I don't really think anxiety inducing, maybe a little bit. It's more just plain old disturbing to me. But the good news is I don't really have to think about it. What else do I have? I have some shattered spears in my bags, some sword sheaths, burnt ears. I have my moldy skins coming into contact with my 7-star stew somewhere in there. I hope they're in different bags wherever my backpack is. I hope they're in different sections there. Maybe if I mix the moldy skins with some of my potions, I can make a mega potion. Or a potion of death, I'd just throw it at the orcs instead. I also have all this level 105 gear that I eventually have to figure out. I really feel like I should do something while, instead of just sitting here waiting for everybody in the group and everybody to get invited. I feel like I should do something, and I might start a little bit with the waste. I already have done some of the waste quests, and I don't really feel like it's a problem if I go ahead and do a little bit more. So we will, if I find my port to the waste, I think I have to actually go to my second skill bar here. We'll go ahead and maybe do some of that. Yeah, large filth. Dozens of pieces of filth, but not only that, they're large pieces of filth that you carry around. Enter the camp of the host or Henneth Noon. Well, I'm at the camp of the host. I just need a, okay, complete quest for the herbalist. Alright, I hope you all don't mind that I'm doing a tiny bit of Gondor content if I'm not really considering this stream a part of the Warden's Gondor mega series. But I will go ahead and do a little bit. Let's just track nearby quests, see what I have in the waste. Looks like Book 8, Chapter 1 has me going over here to talk to Darvan. Oh, there he is. I have to actually go to him. It's kind of weird with Pippin. They sometimes call him Peregrine Took, like if I click him and his name is Peregrine Took sometimes, and sometimes it is Pippin. I'm going to go back to Aragorn, I believe. Maybe, yeah, I'll go ahead and go back to Aragorn and get these. Kind of annoying. If you're really paying attention to the story and reading the quest text, I mean, that is one aspect of these quests that would maybe make them a little bit less annoying, but by annoying, I just mean running back and forth and talking to people. Yeah, my bags are... I'm all distracted by how horrifying my bags are. Just close that out and not even look at it. I don't think I have screenshots of Gandalf on his steed. Like, I sometimes have Gandalf in my thumbnails. Oh no, do we have to do a session play? Oh, this is with Gollum, actually. We're on that. I did not know we were already on that. Okay then. But what I need is a screenshot of Gandalf with his steed here. Okay, thank you all for your patience as I jump around all weird there, just trying to get screenshots of Gandalf. I don't think I have time for the session play, at least I don't want to start it and then get stuck in it and have people waiting for me on that with the group. And Riggs, I don't know if there is the full of a Took title. I feel like that's something I should know, but I don't know if there is something that is specifically full of a Took. I think there might be some with full. I don't know if there's anything with Took. But yeah, I'm not sure on that specific title. Yeah, Mithrandir versus Gandalf, they look pretty similar. Well, let's go southwest. I think the Howling is going to be the one in the southwest. Oh yeah, also need to have floaty names on in these areas so I can pick flowers and chop branches. If I could live in Middle-earth, where would I live? People sometimes ask like where you can visit and that type of stuff, but actually living in Middle-earth. Like if I could visit somewhere, Forakel would be on the top of my list for that, and Lothlorien probably would be. Oh yeah, this dog, you actually get, I guess as a spoiler, I'm pretty sure you get this dog as a cosmetic pet. Yeah, I think you follow it around at a later point for more quests or something. We'll eventually get to that, but I guess it is minor spoilers for people that don't know. It's an exciting part of the waste. But let's see, where I would want to live. First of all, nowhere near... Actually, if I lived in West Rohan, I probably wouldn't have to deal with all the annoying quests. Stone Deeds is a pretty neat area, but I still don't think I'd want to live there. Thinking somewhere in Eriador. There are also some neat places in Dunland. But just because I have a bigger connection to these zones, I'm thinking somewhere in Eriador. I feel like Evendim could work a little bit, but I'm not entirely sure on that. It's not really much of an exciting place. I feel like I should be picking somewhere more exciting. Like Eregion and Inadwaith would both be interesting areas. But I don't really know. There are just too many options of neat areas to live in. I'm also probably thinking too much about weather in the game. That type of stuff. This is the featured instance, right? Okay. Yeah, I think you could do 105 and 104, but also I'm kind of doubting you all want to try tier 2. I just thought I'd throw it out there. You can, of course, get the featured challenge stuff and then run a non-challenge version at lower level. But I don't know if it will work that way, the server, if you can even run it twice on the server right now.
Faith alone will not stop the enemy.
I think slightly better, but probably doesn't matter too much. For some reason I'm thinking 101 at least does something with the rewards, but that's the way it used to be always run. Unfortunately, it sounds like we were running on 101, but that is okay. I think if we did that, I think there's a better possibility for a loot and the such. At least I'm not sure it can drop below level 105. Really? Maybe. I think it hasn't it always said that though? I'm trying to remind myself. Okay. Okay. Yeah, the Shire would be a pretty neat place to live, actually. As much as I wouldn't want to be a hobbit, it would be a neat place. Anyway, we can get going on with some of these quests while we're trying to figure out which level we run with the instance. I'll already turn floating names off. That's artifact. And now a hidden orc scout attack. So what do I need with the hidden orc scouts? I just need to actually find them. It attacked, but I didn't even need to do anything. I just needed to find it. I was able to run away. Here's a ranger cache. That is once again the thing that I feel like is the theme of North Ithilien, some of Gondor, and now the Waste is just getting ranger caches. That might actually be for a deed, not even for a quest this time. Yeah. Those artifacts. We need 20 of these. Wow. I thought I was making good progress on this quest when I already got a few here. But that is not the case. There are a couple other things I need in the ruins here. Finding the hidden orc scouts. At least it tells you on the map where you trigger these stealth mobs. Supposedly attacks. Attacks nothing, maybe? Okay, so we are running 102. Oops. I wonder why they did 102. Seems like an odd level. Curious, did you mean to do level 102? Okay, is that not too high for you to get rewards? Oh. Oh, okay.
In his haste to save Faramir, Burgle has thrown open the Fen Holland and makes for the House of the Stewards. In his wake, the enemy.
So we are running 102 to start. That much I know with this, with the Silent Street here. And this will be a little bit of a different experience compared to the Burglar, of course, and the low-level content. We have a lot more people that are regular to running group content and such with this, and we have a lot higher level people and pretty solid group composition here. We also, I should point out, I don't think everybody in this group has quite yet run this instance, and it's pretty new to the server, so even for the people that have, they haven't run it all that much. And I am one that I ran it way back in the day when it came out, but didn't really run it much since then until it came out on the server again, a Nor Legendary server, and have run it once or twice, I believe. Let's say some things, we will work on my inventory a little bit. The first things I can do is just sell all this useless stuff, lock the useful stuff, and then I want to reforge. Let's identify. It sounds like, yeah, New Zealand. I remember that is the place where they shot some of the movie, maybe the entirety of the Hobbit movie, maybe also the Lord of the Rings, both of those two series, based of course on the Lord of the Rings and Hobbit books. But anyway, you can actually go to Hobbiton there. That is something I did not know. They had like an actual Hobbiton, and go to the Green Dragon. I wonder if the Green Dragon, if the doors are as small as they are in the game where you have to crouch to enter the tavern or not. And speaking of Green Dragon, kind of an interesting thing for people that are in my kinship and just happening to be watching the stream, they know. But on our Discord server in my kin, we have our different like voice chat rooms titled after different ends, and the Green Dragon is actually one of them. So somebody is giving some strategy advice for this. It's consumables. I think he used something there, shield wall. That's an interesting hat for the Runekeeper. I don't think I've quite seen a hat exactly like that. Usually the wizardy hats are slightly bigger. I'm curious what hat they're using for cosmetic. Advanced hat, maybe? Actually looks pretty neat. Also their outfit as a whole looks like they have Spirited Campaign Robe of the Mark. Don't think I've quite seen an outfit like that, but I kind of like it. I don't know if it's one of those outfits where I like to see it in the game, but it's probably not something I would personally end up using. I do. Also, I should switch to melee after I use that for this. I might consider switching to the red line. I have a lot of fun in the L line, but if we actually run into trouble at some parts of this where having more DPS matters, I think I can more consistently do more DPS in the red line. So that is something to just look out for and try to remind myself that that is a possibility. With what I'm doing right now, I don't think it's a problem to be in the L line and actually have gotten a couple good seize the moment ticks there. So this is just decreased perceived threat. That is actually a good thing because I'm a DPS, I don't want to be threatening. I think the Doom Speaker, when we actually get to the boss fight, there will be a bunch of ads. I think the Doom Speaker is the one we need to focus on if I remember correctly, but I don't know if I actually remember correctly. It's the problem that would include right now. Okay, I will get one Desolation. I have aggro right now. This is when I want to be less threatening, but didn't matter because I didn't take enough damage to die anyway. Also, in my inventory, I actually have a lot of gear I could equip on this character. It looks like I have my current DPS cloak equipped. I wonder if I'm at a point... I have a lot of scrolls. Don't have a captain in our group. That is one issue. When I'm thinking about gearing this character, I can't necessarily rely on... I think essentially these are Gondorian rebels is the way you could think about them. They're... The Wither Tree is what they are called. And as far as my experience goes, they're conspirators. I thought I actually saw that somewhere here, but I think that's what they essentially are. I also probably shouldn't focus on the boss right here, but we'll just let me focus on the boss for a minute and maybe get some spear sweeps. Okay, let's actually focus. Yeah, I probably caused some issues there. I would guess that my damage at least helped contribute to issues there. I have a tendency to do that sometimes. Yeah. But yeah, probably not focusing on the boss next time. Having said that, the boss got quite a bit down, but I think you have to kill the ads anyway. And next time I will try to not focus so much on the boss and bleeding it down so much. He has so little health actually, he only has 970,000, which is, for a boss, at this point, not really that much, especially for a 6-man instance, I don't think. So he can actually go down relatively quickly, but again, I think you need to kill the ads, and if you need to kill the ads, might as well focus on the ads the entire time. Physical mastery. So like something I could do with my gear right now that I have an option to do is actually, yeah, I'll probably do more of my, oh, somebody went link dead. Yeah, I could equip perhaps this earring. Okay, Estelwyn is back. That was a little bit of a scare. But our healer is back. And yeah, last time I wasn't entirely focusing like single target on the boss. I was actually spear sweeping, but the problem is that put a ton of damage on the boss, and the way the ads trigger, I think, is at morale thresholds on the boss. At least that's the way I remember it triggering. So by damaging the boss, it actually triggered a lot more ad waves. I think we got 2, maybe 3 at once. I only really saw 2, but that is something. Okay, so thinking about gear, I can first of all equip this new cloak. That would be an upgrade in critical rating and vitality. I would lose the essence of physicality. That is an okay essence. We do have another couple melee characters, mainly the other melee DPS is going to be the champion. So perhaps I don't need to replace the cloak right away. Just trying to think with the options I have, how I could help right now. but I will keep what I have equipped already. I do have one level 105 piece of gear. It's non-essence. I'm basically waiting on all the essence stuff that we saw in my inventory. Do I have to actually repair? I hope I used my subscriber's jug. I did use my subscriber's jug, but this is actually hiding behind the minimap for some reason. I don't know why I had it hidden there, but I actually do have to repair my cloak, it looks like. I don't know if the subscriber town services has a repair. I think I missed that interrupt, but that's something that probably should have been interrupted would be my guess. Okay, there's a Doom speaker somewhere. I really don't remember which one is the priority to kill. Maybe it's the Doom speaker? That one actually sounds more familiar. All the other ones talked about so far. This one sounds the most familiar for that. Okay, where's the strong arm next maybe? Maybe it was the strong arm too. I just really don't remember. That's the way to summarize this. Is our tank up? Okay, our tank is alive. I know I'm using my morale taps, not the most helpful with damage, obviously, but I'm going to kite these guys around a little bit. And my cat is here distracting me. Y'all might see her up here. I really don't know what I'm doing. I'm just running away and my cat really has me distracted. I cannot see what buttons I'm pressing or anything like that. Oh, that guy's getting induction off, which is scary. And I am the only one alive right now. Yeah, we need to interrupt the inductions. I don't remember the target priority for the ads though. I'm trying to get through this. I kind of doubt I can, but figure might as well try after all this time in the boss fight. I got one of them rooted. This is actually working. I can't believe it. So far it's working at least. Don't want to speak too soon. Now I'm lagging with that gamut builder. Okay, one more down. I think we have one left. Run around like a chicken. That strategy worked though. Oh, I got it down somehow. I was able to just avoid them the whole time. I like to say the cat doesn't help, but I think she actually just helps. The presence of the cat helps do things like that. Even with her butt on my keyboard. Now we have the shrieky voices of the Wraith guy. I don't think it's maybe it is a Nazgul or at least a Cargul here. But either way, I think they're Wraiths. Actually, Wraiths. I think Wraiths are a little bit different in the game than the Nazgul, Burgle type people. This is the Gloom of Burn, so I do think that is a Nazgul, actually. Oh, I thought we did 100 at the start. Perhaps it's 101. Yeah, I know back in the day, it was pretty hard even tier 1 at level 105 without the gear. That sounds like it was somebody else's experience, but this instance, when it came out, I remember it being fairly difficult. Not just this instance, but the stuff at this level in general. Even though I ended up running tier 2, I think. Mainly the first boss with that, though. Don't see the boss down that way. I think, by the way, I did find out the bosses can spawn in different areas each time. The 2 mini bosses here. I think there's always one right and left, but where they are right and left can be different. Oh yeah, repairing with the town services, that is something I should do while we're getting a break here. And done getting static shocked by my cat and my lips. Okay, yeah, you can repair. I have almost a gold worth of repair. But I always thought this was the second boss. So with these 2 bosses, the 2 mini bosses here, you can do them in a new order, and it sounds like one person in the group considers the other one to be the second boss. But there he is. But yeah, I think these bosses, I have seen them up on this near that railing area. And also down here, like in the room where they are right now. I think we'll try to pull them back some, would be my guess, but I am feared right now. I was stunned. Maybe I wasn't feared and I was just stunned. You can pull them back a little bit. You can't go completely out of the room and take them like way far away from everything else, but go back a little bit. And by the way, one of the benefits of the yellow line, I talked about potentially switching to the red line in this instance, depending how things go. One of the benefits of the yellow line was when I was the only one alive on the first boss, killing the rest of the ads there, I was able to do a lot of the kiting a lot more easily on the yellow line. Yeah, I think there is a chest we forgot, the boss loot chest. Wait, oh, I was going to say I think, or I thought it was back when we defeated both of the bosses, there's going to be one chest in the middle. At least that is kind of what I remember, but I don't know for sure. So yeah, they were talking about the chest and the boss and the loot, but I think the chest comes after you defeat the 2 mini bosses, the Risen King and Steward of Gondor. I believe we did the Risen King. I don't remember the king's name. Somebody is talking in Discord and I can't actually hear them. They have inconsistent volume levels on their microphone. It's kind of funny. But anyway, yeah, Ivan, things are going well, and as you see in the title, it says Annuminas, Evendim instance, and Silent Street, Gondor. That is what we're doing right now. The second half of the stream is going to be doing stuff on my Warden. I accidentally pulled those moms. Oh well. And we already completed the Burgling Annuminas part, at least the part of the stream. We did not finish Burgling Annuminas. Let me restart. Annuminas. I think I actually pulled them. I think the mobs reset and then I ended up pulling them. I'm going to have to run back until hopefully the tank gets aggro here. Now there's a puddle on the ground that I don't feel safe running through, even though we had a mob and I just hit a light, which is not good. I'm about to be feared. Well, at least the tank got aggro on that thing, and I got my resounding challenge on before I got feared. No, a problem is I could have been feared into all those risen soldiers, but I was not. Yeah, you can retreat and I think be pretty close, but I did have my res. So before we get in combat, actually it looks like a Stellan already got in combat. This guy has a corruption. I wonder what the corruption does. Oh, a bunch of them were pulled. Oh, and I used Warcry because of lagging with the Gambit Builder, and now I'm about to be feared. Just trying to get... I actually think that was a beneficial area. No, it is the Runekeeper debuff area. Either way, I am actually so far safe. That was just a little bit of a worrying fight because half the people were dead when it started, and then we pulled a bunch more, but the trash fights are relatively easy here at this part. I think they're deceptively hard. They're maybe not quite as hard as they look actually getting through it. At least that's my impression. These fights always, just with these regular trash risen soldiers, it always seems like it is going to look harder than it is, harder than it turns out to be. Hello, Tommy D. I forget once again that it is Friday. I remember the same thing happened in my stream last week on Friday, that it didn't feel like Friday, and that is the same thing today. It does not feel like Friday to me. It's a very random thing. I know that I've talked about this a little bit, but I'll be on break essentially next week. I don't know if I will stream tomorrow. That is completely unknown at this point if I will get around to it. I would like to. I'd like to do something tomorrow. And I am in the range stance, but that is okay. Oh, a lot of lag there. Doing Wall of Steel, useless skill, and now I'm using melee resounding challenge. I already used mine. I think the hunter had their res though. Alright, let's see what this chest has. No gear. That's my suspicions. If anybody in the chat actually knows if you can get loot in these instances below level 105, could correct me on that, essentially, but I don't think you can get loot if you run these below level 105. And so far, in all my attempts running this below level 105, that has been the case that we have not gotten loot. And I accidentally attacked a Gloom Spirit up there. I know the last boss in this instance, especially thinking if we try tier 2 at some point with our group, with my kin, it'll be very tough. I think it requires a lot of coordination, and if I remember correctly, a lore master is very helpful in that. I might be misremembering it, that different strategies people do. Of course, with instances, different strategies work. Sometimes there are really weird strategies that actually maybe aren't the easiest, but they can work out, or for certain groups, certain compositions, they can be different than go against the grain, essentially, of what most people do. But yeah, I don't think like a lore master would be required for the final boss fight, even if it's helpful. There are probably ways to get through it without one. But just my memory is that a lore master was very helpful for that. I think for crowd control, and I'm lagging. Keeper keeps dying, unfortunately. They are level 99, so for a level 102 instance, going to be, I guess, relatively squishy. Yep, back. Yeah, I'm really having to decide. I'll have to decide soon if I want to actually save all these Virtue XP token things. Virtue XP potions, that's probably what they should be called, because they actually look like potions. And I'm having to sit all weird to see over my cat, because she is, as usual, in the way, I guess. Weird. There's the Gloom of Nirn, who is in Mordor Besieged as one of the nine Nazgul, I think, at least.
You to be spared and brought before him, but he bears no authority.
Gothmog is like the big bad evil, I think, of Minas Morgul. Well, of course of Minas Morgul, but it just seems like in the game, I don't really remember Gothmog being a name that I heard of, at least as far as Lord of the Rings go. It's probably mentioned in the books and elsewhere, maybe in like the Lord of the Rings movies. Of course, you all are people that follow me, watch my content a lot, probably know. Not all that familiar with all that stuff. It's been a long while, at least for the movies, that I have watched them. And I just don't remember that name ever coming up or hearing it talked about all that much. And also, just so y'all know, my strategy for this is probably going to be a little bit weird, but I'm probably going to focus on the boss and focus on corruption removal, not on interrupts. I got my interrupt gambit there, but I meant to put up my corruption removal. That is high priority for me, and focusing on the boss again. And that is one of the perhaps weird strategies, is just getting the boss down as fast as possible, instead of worrying about, there are like tons of ads during this fight, but if you just kill the boss, then you can just do that. Okay, corruption removal again. Oh, I'm about to get feared. Go ahead and use a power potion. Use Never Surrender. I cannot see when I am in that little hazy fear stuff. I can't actually see what's going on. Somebody disconnected in the group. Their link is lost. Okay, the Gloom of Nirn is almost down, except I am out of power. I used a power potion, but then I ran out of power anyway, and we got him down. But yeah, that is the strategy for this with our group that has so far worked all of our attempts, is just killing the boss and not worrying at all about the ads. There is, his name is Peregrine Took right now. Dude we saw on the waste. See, there's a chest somewhere, but we should probably wait until the hunter gets back. Don't remember. Here's the chest. We get a small fancy chest. This is actually a lot larger chest than the other one we had earlier. But anyway, going on about Gothmog, in the movies he's a crippled orc actually, and then in the books it was unknown if he was an orc or a Nazgul. Talking about Gothmog, it almost seems like in the game he is, yeah, something like Mordorith. I actually remember that. Going with Minas Morgul, remember it a little bit, but Mordorith, if I remember correctly, was the Witch King of Ingmar. He was at least that in the Khorne Doom instance, and it does sound like you actually mentioned the main villain of Shadows of Ingmar. That was Mordorith. So we did get the featured instance box, got Gorgoroth crafting bundle, which will actually be useful on the server sometime soon, and got a couple scrolls of empowerment, so that was pretty decent from that. I think somebody got essences. I'm guessing that was level 100 essences. No, they actually got 105 essences. That is the reason to run above level 100, I think. Run 101 instead of 100. So Jimmy, I noticed that the essences you got are level 105, and that actually reminds me the reason to run 101 instead of 100 is so you get level 105 essences, which are significantly better, if y'all haven't noticed, compared to the 100 essences. Getting all laggy now that we're leaving Minas Tirith. Not only does Minas Tirith itself cause lag, at least for me it causes a bunch of lag when I leave, there is some odd glow here. It looks like the sun is shining down. I almost feel like I should be seeing a rainbow. It really looks like the sun is shining down. I'm guessing because it's like dawn, so the sun is just coming up in the way they have it in the game. It just looks like it's shining bright on everything while it's raining. So Mordoreth is the Witch King of Ingmar. Glad I actually was right on that one. So I don't know if we're running this again. I would really like to run... Why is this Cap of Evendim purple? Is it not a... Is it one of these like food things? The farming... Oh, that is a barter item, so that's going to be like the crop, essentially, I believe, of the waste. Oh, I already left, so nope. Oh yeah, there's the, if you're on that, can't remember the name of it, but yeah. So, oops. Oh, so Mordoreth is Eärnur, who defeated the Witch King. Actually, didn't have it right. Okay. That is what is going on. It almost looked like a flower. It actually is a flower. I just couldn't click it there. Had to use the fancy delete key. And because we are in a group, I have to manually click that. One place I do want to go is Harondir. That is actually where I want to set my milestone. Yeah, the main stat ones are really bad. You get a lot more out of like raw physical mastery or vitality. I feel like they're a noob trap or something. I believe so. And it for physical classes of interest, it gives physical mastery. Yeah, that's the exact thing going on, Chris, is in North Ithilien in the Waste, is you get all this essence armor and you can pick all these flowers for your essence armor, but then you don't have any essences to actually put into the armor. That is, to me, the biggest issue with the gear, is not even getting the gear at this point, but getting the essences to put in the gear, and that's why I like the balance of that a lot more at level 130 from my experience doing the 130 stuff, is you can get essences and the such from running instances, even get the good teal essences and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, I think the general story and idea going on in Ingmar is definitely interesting. And I thought, as far as main villains go, in the original Shadows of Ingmar, the way I thought it worked was actually, I wasn't really around there, but my experience with the continent was actually supposed to be Mordorith. I guess the Rift of Ner'zghashu, that would have been the big Ingmar raid. Of course, Ingmar being the big evil to end all evil place, so to speak. Here's Herbalist, Host of the West Herbalist. This is exactly who I wanted to talk to. Actually, it is not. I'm still looking weird to spend the golden. So we have golden extracts, we have violet extracts. Those are both from the Waste, and I still don't know where to spend those, actually. You can actually spend the verdant extract on the necklace, and you can do the crimson extract on the rings. Interesting. And then it looks like the other one, the umber one. But still don't know for the other two that I mentioned, the ones I'm getting in the Waste. I still don't know where to spend those. This is violet and golden. Oh, you get the books. So you get these books. I don't remember what these books are used for, but that is where you spend the things. And yeah, as far as the conclusion of the story in Minas Morgul, I kind of agree. It was a little bit of a letdown. It was kind of this big, it felt like there was this huge build-up, but from what I remember of it, I almost don't even remember it because it was so disinteresting in a way is how it turned out. Yeah, I remember it being anticlimactic. That is the way I described it. And that is ultimately how I felt with the story. Okay, so I have to find what you do with these boxes again. The books. I think the books are used for crafting. It looks like I don't have an Orion crafting yet on this character, so that is one reason I do not actually know, because I'm not up to that point. I don't think guild crafting is needed. It's like barter these and you can get weapons, okay. So Goladir kills a troll who is Gothmog and LOTRO in his dying breath. Interesting. I think we're running 75 tier 2 to learn the mechanics maybe. Don't really know. I don't think on tier 2 you get the challenge mode without running at the level cap, which would be the interesting thing. Tier 2 just turns the difficulty up. So Dunarkarn, you actually watched my stream, and that is where you saw all of that. Oh, that's actually the stream you found my channel. Interesting. I honestly, because it seems so, I don't remember it that much. I feel like I should remember it more, but I honestly don't. I don't remember all the specific events going on there. Oh yeah, so if your name is based off of Goladir's sword, Dunarkarn, then yeah, probably makes sense that you'd follow the storyline closely, at least closer than I did. So oops. You didn't? Who did then? Somebody hit them and started that fight. I'm about to ask about tier 2. So, like with these trash fights, I feel like there's no information we can gain on tier 2, but maybe there are some boss mechanics that I don't really remember that will be a little bit emphasized or a little bit more on tier 2. I'm guessing our goal is to actually experience. Like, of course you can read about all these mechanics, at least ideally you could if there are resources on that, but all the mechanics for the instance, ideally you could read up on those, but actually experiencing it on tier 2, I'm guessing. So your only LOTRO character is in level 88 in Edoras. I am sorry. I hope you enjoy Western Rohan more than me. I don't want my experience in Rohan to influence people from disliking it, but I just hope you enjoy Edoras in that area a lot more than I do. So, yeah, an unfortunate thing I was thinking with running this on tier 2 is we can't see like the challenge modes. Yeah, and I don't remember this enough to know what the challenges were. Got the boss down, but all that is just swarm dust. Yeah, that is one thing with the game. If you watch my streams, there's a decent chance there will be spoilers. In my videos, actually, when I do like review videos and things like that, I actually try to minimize spoilers in general because I am not a fan of spoilers, actually, so I do try to keep them a little bit minimal, but it's just, if you watch a video reviewing something, for example, if I do a Blood of Azog review when that update comes out, There's a good chance some of the stuff will be spoilered, even though like specific story stuff is usually what I try to avoid. I got swarmed way too much by the ads. So on tier 2, I don't know if they're actually mechanics. I don't know what the mechanics are. Did that say fist fighter? I almost feel like that said fist fighter, but maybe not.
You have already lost this battle.
I kind of plowed through that fight though. Even though I died, it was... everything else died so quickly. I wonder, I'm actually curious if we get gear. That would be very interesting to see if there's lower level skilled gear that we can actually get on tier 2. Again, I don't think there is, but yeah. And that's true, there's zombie, if you're talking about where I am or where Dunarkarn are, I believe both of those situations it actually only gets better. Until I get to the end of Mordor, that is. From what I remember, and in my experience, in the past with LOTRO, is that after Mordor is where I get, where things get better again to me. But there are moments in Gondor that I believe are a lot better compared to some of the content before Gondor. It's a little bit scattered with Gondor overall. Well, let me jump over. I am glad that you enjoy these streams because you barely have time to play. That's usually how I am with games. For games that I don't play or don't really have the time to play, that is usually when I prefer to watch content on it rather than spend my time playing it. Also, it saves money as like an odd thing, both the time and money part. If I get my fill of a game by just watching people do it in the background while studying or something, which is I think something I mentioned earlier that I do, was it to kill those two or not kill those? Okay. Yeah, I think it seems like the strategy on tier 1 has been just to kill the boss because everything disappears, then you don't need to worry about the ads, so it'll be different. Man, we pulled a lot of people. I wonder who did that. And somebody's being very careless here. And Dunarkarn, sounds like you have to go. Well, thank you for joining the stream, and I hope you did enjoy this one. And yeah, the stream has actually been right around 2 hours. Let's see, there were a couple minutes mute of that, but it does look like just about 2 hours is how long I've been going. Oh, I actually killed something very recently. Good old Warden bleeds. Warden bleeds and dots. And also the sun, it's at the point where it's shining through my window. Something again I have to get used to in the summer and fall months here. And it's mainly a concern because of the face cam, also because I'm like not really staring at the sun, but it's spread out throughout the entire window, but it's still something bright. But it is shining. I don't know if it's shining. I can't really tell if it's shining on my face. I have to actually look at this, and it kind of is. Okay, there should be another boss somewhere. Yeah, over one to the left, I believe, is where it can be. Usually it seems like it's up here. Okay, I found it. I think I have seen the boss once over here, but I might be misremembering because I think it's always around the steps, actually. I just feel like one time I have seen it not around those steps and in that area, but given my limited recent playtime here, don't really know. Got one hit on it, but it did not bleed the enemy. Okay, we actually got the boss this time. I wonder what this does, if it does morale damage. Yeah, it does 10% morale damage. So this is something like running a level 75-1. The mechanic there can actually do quite a bit of damage to you. So of course, not standing in that would be ideal. Also have aggro on the boss somehow, which is scary. Now he's stunned, so I don't have to worry about him killing me because of that. Staying over here. We're actually still fighting ads, it looks like. Maybe I shouldn't have gone this way. Now I'm being feared. I might actually have to use a potion, and I really feel like I do have to. Okay, get that plague rat. That guy's being really annoying. There we go. Okay, with the chest. Oh, looks like some people might still be in combat. Yep. I think somebody got feared. Still doesn't look like anybody's gotten gear, which is still my suspicion that we won't see any gear running this below 105. I guess that's a problem with the implementation of these scaling instances compared to the wild ones, for example. If they don't actually have gear for all the levels they can scale to. That was one of the reasons I had that as a big concern, because I remember implementation of things like this being iffy on that. Okay, I'm going to deconstruct some relics to clean up my inventory space a little bit. Okay, it looks like we are all good to go here. And we are going to try the strategy of killing the 2 risen bosses. So instead of just focusing on the boss and killing it real quick, we will focus on the ads instead. I don't know all the ads, but at least the risen kings people, or whatever they summon. Hello, Mistweaver, 88. You can see the sun right here.
Gondor ordered you to be spared and brought before him, but he bears no authority over me.
Yeah, I think these steps right here, they come out of... Well, actually, I think you can see them right here even, maybe. I don't know if these are the ones that get risen. I don't think LOTRO is that fancy with its animations, but this is where I thought they came from. That's these 2 little stand things. I'm going really slow with the DPS because we are trying to focus on the mechanics, just as a heads up. So I'm guessing we need to get the Gloom Spirits and avoid the lights at the same time. And somebody killed that light. Oh, this is actually Arundel. Looks like everybody else is focusing on the other one, but that is okay. I will just think this one is Yellow Line Warden. He's only 30-ish levels below me. I could be doing a lot better as far as like my damage goes. I could definitely be doing a lot better, but I feel like running a level 75 instance just makes me extra lazy. Let's see. That applies. So when you get the eye, you want to run away from people. That much I can tell. Okay. Let me do a power restore. That should restore a lot of my power. And it looks like I'm about to get feared. Got a light a little bit too close to me. I think we're getting through this. I guess some people have died, but I haven't really had issues with this fight until this point. All that much. So it seems a little bit weird that so many people have been dying and it's going really slowly. I know I'm not really contributing much damage right now. And I keep getting chained into these lights, it seems like. But yes, it feels like a fight that is going a lot better than I guess it actually is my experience in this. And there's something that is actually killing us. It's probably gloom or morale damage. That is what it's going to be. The morale damage, that stuff, no matter what level you are, how much health you are, it does the same portion of your morale. But somebody killed him. Somebody defeated the Gloom of Nirn even though everybody was dead. I wonder how that was possible. The puddles here, or you're talking about who summons the puddles? Okay, you get an eye over your head, and I think that summons the puddles. Either that or the eye does something else. Okay, once everybody gets rezzed, I will loot the chest. It looks like everybody is alive. And I do want to check the gear, the loot that everybody got, just to make sure nobody actually got gear. It looks like you got relic removal scroll. But yeah, no armor still for running this below level 105. But yeah, as a heads up, I don't know how much more we will do. That really blinds me, because that's actually the sun. It's not just the bright outside. You're the sun. This is the actual sun. Something I will probably just have to close those curtains whenever we get to future streams, or I could like move way out of the way over here. Okay, I was looking at some of the level 105 rewards here. And I think I just have to get my crafting up to remind myself of what you actually craft. And that is the main thing I need to do, because that will tell me essentially the use of the waste flowers. And it's just something I need to do with that. I perhaps could look at my runekeeper. He has his crafting up. I also wonder, I could get this character's crafting up and see if it's something that's automatically unlocked. If I remember correctly, it is. And for Woodworker, it'd probably be useful to master the tiers. That's something I want to do eventually on this character anyway, but I could at least go through my shavings, I think, and get up and finish that tier and unlock Norian, but perhaps look at my runekeeper for that. See, I have a quest. Oh, it's from this quartermaster. Not interested in that quest. I do want to check while I'm at this quartermaster. I want to remind myself if there's anything. Muster and Harandir would be the next one I want. So I actually think... Oh, you can get these recipes. They are not one-time use. They are bind on acquire, so I cannot send this to my alt. So that's one thing with crafting. I know a lot of people craft on their alts and such, but this is something the recipe is going to be bind on acquire. So for example, if I had like all these alts with all these crafting things, I could not just funnel the resources to them to craft this stuff. This is an example of something where you actually need crafting on your character to get this stuff. Now, having said that, I don't know that the actual stuff you craft, if you can rely on other crafters or not, if you actually do need the crafting. I don't remember it for this specific case. But it's always a thing I am not personally a fan of, is when crafting is required on your character to get this stuff, and you can't at least rely on other crafters or even send it to your alts, but whatever character going through the content you need crafting on them. That's why I'm not as big of a fan of, even though I do like crafting in general. I just don't like the feeling of it being required. Anyway, I believe we are just about done with this stuff. As far as I know. Just about done as in we're done. Oh. What were we trying? I missed. Oh, yeah, I'd be up for that. Okay, sounds like we're actually going to try Throne Tier 1, Boss 1, Rockothos. And there are a few other people on in the kinship that might do that. Yeah, I think there are a couple strategies, and the one I'm more familiar with is what people do at 1:30, which might not work for us, so there are a couple. How do I convert to raid? I am the leader. Oh. Convert to raid. I cannot convert to raid. Oh, probably because we have the encounter up. I wonder if people being in the instance would actually affect that. See, I should probably take an AFK, because I need to use the restroom if we're going to be running this. Yep, sorry. You're not allowed to join. No, it wouldn't let me convert to raid since we had a instance open, I think. Thought we were missing somebody, that's because they're not on that list. Thank you for the good luck on the throw-in. And actually, I saw you were on Dementir, and it looks like you sent something in the kin chat on that. But thank you for wishing us good luck on that, and hopefully we do have some good luck. We're doing a level 105 raid with like 7 people, 6 people maybe. Looks like we had 1 person join and 1 person drop maybe? That's how that ended up? Because we had 6 people, and then we were going to have 1 more person join, and then they dropped. I don't think that was Dementir there. Is there somebody I am missing? Oh, Jimmy is who I'm missing. Oopsies. Okay, so the sun is shining bright in my eyes, and it's going to blind me if I actually sit there. But I am going to AFK, close my blinds at least, and use the restroom, and then I will be back. So let me put my very thematic towards where we are, and then it's a Burgle AFK message up, which is actually somehow somewhat thematic. Okay, I am back. That was a longer than intended AFK because I also got myself a snack. Sounds like they're talking about the 3 Moomek Hill boss fight, the second boss, if I remember correctly, in this raid. My cat is trying to steal my food. I don't know if you all saw, also I still have my AFK message up, but I don't know if you all heard, the cat meowed right into the microphone. Rockothos is to the left here, Moomek Killer over there. There's Rockothos, the first boss, the one we're going to try. And by the way, for everybody watching the stream right now, I do want to thank you all for your patience as I get my snack and we're doing our AFKs and getting ready for Rockothos. It is so nice to not have the sun shining bright in my eyes. And yeah, running this at 1:30, I have done that. My most experience running this is actually at 1:30, oddly enough, because my kin on Arkenstone, this is a weekly thing since it has a weekly reset and all that. It is something I would run with them, as you all saw if people watching my content there. Is everybody here? Oh, there's also a nice map for this raid. But since everybody's here, I will say there's a good chance everybody gets one shot since we don't have 12 people because there's distributed damage, but maybe not. I've been AFK a while, so I don't know if that was already covered. Oh. No, the more people, the more helpful, actually. We could. I don't know if people run the first boss at tier 1, because I don't know on tier 1 if it drops the Ithel coins, because that's the main thing of interest. Or if it drops raid loot, because this is... It doesn't have the reset timer, so I don't know what the loot structure is for tier 1, since it's farmable. Oh. Yeah. Who wants to be on their own? I'm not used to doing this. Here, I'll just make you leader again, Jimmy. So. Yeah. Yeah, we can try. I don't know how it will work at this level, but we can try the 130 strategy where the tank stands on one side and then the rest of the DPS stand behind him. If we really do have to stack together, like on top of each other like this, essentially. As immersion breaking as that is. Yeah. So we will go by his left foot area where he is now, somewhere thereabouts. Yeah, his left foot. Our right. Lots of them. Gotta get my snack before the fight. I got hope token. I'm almost out of food. I honestly don't know if it's worth trying to eat food, since I actually have 4 of the Norian ones left. I'll eat one. If somebody takes order for food, I can supply gold to help. Okay, so I think right here, if I remember correctly. So we will try this. We'll see how we are with a group of 7. It is only tier 1, but it is level 105, and we have people below level 100 even. We have a few scattered 100 to 105. The main tank is only 100. Somewhere around there, yeah. He's just doing a little show for us. Ouch. One down. Okay, I actually have to try this. This is essentially a DPS race. I have to try to do as much damage as I can, but it doesn't look like it's going to matter. We're all dying anyway. I probably should switch to Redline for this since I'm better at playing that. Well... Okay, so the other strategy we might need is splitting half the group with you and half the group with another tank, which I guess would be either Bana or me. I think he does frontal AoEs as well. And that might be the distributed. So, okay, so yeah, the usual on-level strategy is to have, I think, 2 tanks and have 6 with one tank and 6 with the other tank, or 5 rather. But just like, there's also a building dot, if I remember correctly, so once one group starts taking too much damage, the other group will want to taunt and do it kind of that way. A little bit like Turtle, I guess. I don't think we run back and forth, but the 2 tanks taunt back and forth. I wasn't pushing my push-a-dock button. I think we don't have to run back and forth, but just taunt back and forth the 2 tanks. Okay, I am done with my snack. Which means I am done repeatedly muting and unmuting. I would recommend if Bana wants to tank, but I'll leave that up to him. Because I can try, I might just be too squishy. But I also know... Another problem with the captain taking is he's level 102 rather than level 105. But last time we got him almost 10% down and we're doing all this strategizing, just trying a couple other things. Yeah. And I think in addition to that, there's a stacking like wound, kind of like turtle. So that's why you want the other group to eventually take the damage and not have it like you tank the whole time and some people stand with you. If I remember correctly again. I'm guessing we're not actually going to end up running this that much, but okay, do you want me to just try tanking one side and doing that? See how it goes? I do need a couple seconds to have a couple trait points I've acquired since I played this spec. Okay. So it sounds like we're at least giving this one more try. Really don't think it'll lead all that much anywhere. No, it doesn't inspire confidence all that much. But considering we are a lot of people for the group, I don't even think it says here, but most of the people in the group, there's one level 104 hunter who is not in the kin, but looks like there are 3 people below level 105, including one of the tanks, and we don't even have a full group, which is really important with this. Yeah, I guess we should decide, maybe have 3 people stand with me and 2 with Jimmy. Actually, do I have more morale than you, Jimmy? Do I have more morale than you? Am I reading those numbers right? Wow. I didn't know that was possible. I honestly did not know it was possible for me to have more morale than our Guardian. Well, yeah, I'm guessing I have lower mitigations. Especially if it's Stelwyn, maybe he's even the most important one to have 4 people for. Oh, I actually have tank gear to equip. I think that was somebody's tires from a car outside, but I do actually have tank gear to equip. Don't know if I have any tank gear in my vaults, but it is possible. Got my morale up even more, 71,000 there. We're doing all the strategizing, but I feel like we're just going to get defeated again. I know that's maybe not the best way to think about this, but that is what I feel like could happen. I do actually want this shield equipped. Yay, finding useful stuff. I didn't know I actually had anything that I could equip and would be just a straight upgrade in my vault. I thought I already checked all that, but yeah, I got one more level 105 piece that was a slight upgrade. To look at the upgrade again, it was a shield, and I upgraded armor, which I don't care too much about. Crit defense, that was actually almost doubled, and a little bit more vitality, and I'll good chunk more agility and fate, which the fate I don't really care too much about, but is an upgrade in that, and then the finesse is okay. As far as mitigations go, I am at 58% on physical. Yeah, we do. That is definitely true. That's why we're doing all this strategizing, and I keep like saying we're probably not going to get through it because we only have 7 people in the group. And we are running. Not even everybody in the group is level 105, so that's another issue. We have 3 that are 105, and I think 4 that are below 105. Okay, are we going to the left foot side? This side? Okay. Who wants to take aggro first? Okay. So it sounds like the Guardian is getting aggro first, and we can try to see what happens. I don't really remember. I talked about this like stacking bleed that goes up, but I honestly don't remember exactly how that functions, and even if it does really function that way, I should probably... My priority is to keep my gambits up. So if you actually get booted out of the group, don't run right back. I don't know why I'm in range stance right now. If you get booted, you actually shouldn't run right back and explode the group. I did not know if he got booted that you would actually explode the group. It's been too long since I've run this where that has been a mechanic that I've had to pay attention to, I guess. And I forget how to play Blue Line Warden. I really forget how to play the spec. Okay, looks like I have aggro right now, which is okay. Okay-ish until I die. It looks like we're making more progress than last time, though. Like, if I can say something positive, we have made more progress than our last attempt at this. I know I'm not playing all that well. I don't really have much hope for our group to get through this with 2 people alive and that much health left, but looking on the bright side, we made more progress than the first time. I just don't think it will be possible, ultimately. Really, the distributed damage, it just one-shot the hunter that time, for example, and yeah. I don't know if we're trying this again. It seems like if we keep trying it, we'll get that same result, but yeah, it is actually interesting with this character, though, actually equipping my tank gear that I just happen to have. I don't have any of my regular 105 gear built up, of course, but the one earring I have that is actually tanky. And with, I guess, the rest of my armor, just in general, how it is, I actually have more morale than our Guardian. I think the Guardian has a bunch of great armor, but perhaps just with what I have more vitality, is the way it works out. And being higher level. Oops, did you ask if standing far away would work? I don't know, but since we only got like 10% through, I don't see why that wouldn't be worth trying at this point. But yeah, I will say when the ads come out, that could be a problem, but I don't remember enough to know. He could stand with whatever tank doesn't have aggro, maybe. Yeah, I think the first 2 you can do in any order. And if we have trouble with this boss, I don't have high hopes for the Mimic Hill. if I remember correctly, the movement kill actually much tougher than Rakothos. I remember that, and my experience running this raid, I don't know that I've actually completed the full raid when I ran it back in the day, but just my memory is the movement kill were the hardest boss. Yeah, if we could at least unlock the ads, that might be good progress. Okay, so do you want to take aggro again first? Okay. So it sounds like the Guardian is getting the aggro first. And yeah, the movement kill, that's what I remember at Chaotic Mess, and that is essentially my experience from what I remember on that. Oh, it looks like they're standing kind of far away. Oh no, I used Fierce Resolve. Oh well. Hey, I'm actually healing. Accidentally. Oh, looks like I got aggro on accident. I really feel like I'm playing my character very poorly right now, but partially because I feel like it doesn't really matter. And I really hate to say that, but that is just the way I feel about this. With like this group. I think we did even worse this time than maybe even the first 2 tries. And I know I was not playing all that well with helping there. At least we're not in pre-battle Gondor. My goal is to not really return to pre-battle Gondor if I didn't really need to. I actually did need to at some points briefly, but this is technically not pre-battle Gondor, it is battle Gondor. Yeah, I think you all might have been also a little bit far away since we had to move as well. The Runekeeper there got hit for 161,000 from the distributed damage, and that is why, for people that don't know the distributed damage, how that works is it is distributed to however many people are there in that area of effect. So something like 161,000, if that were distributed between 6 people, that would be a little bit over 20,000 damage, or a little bit under 30,000 damage for each person. And that's why it's so important for people to stack together. And that's why it's so important for this boss fight, for example, to have the full 12 group. But we are just running with my kinship, and since we aren't really doing much of a serious run and just poking our head in a lot of people their first time, I think only a couple people, maybe not even a couple people, have... I wonder if I am the only one in this group that has run part of it at 105, but either way, I think some people do have experience running the, not the 130 version, but running it at 130 where you have like 4 people and 3 DPS and 1 tank or whatever, and just plow through it that way. But when running this on level, that is definitely not the strategy, and we're just kind of poking our heads in again. And yeah, that is exactly why ALJ Bookworm, maybe I'll call you Bookworm, or you can let me know on your name, or it's Alj maybe. Anyway, you said that is why at level you have an LM and 6 people each stacked on each side, and I definitely agree with that. That is why. And that's one reason it is so tough with us. Not only people not being geared at all, but also being under level 105. I'm an example of somebody who is not really geared. I still have all my level 100 gear, which was somewhat rough gear. And way under geared. And no more consumables left. I'll always put a hope token up just since I have so many. Hello, Eddie. catty to. They're still standing a little bit far away, it seems like. Actually, I should let me do my javelin debuffs. Yeah, and he just gets one shot. Yep, the way to gear is going to be flower gear, I agree. I don't think we're really interested in running this raid for gear though. Of course, nice rewards would be nice. You get the long lost Ethel coins, but I don't even know if you get that on tier 1 to be honest. I really am. I keep using bad gamuts, but not really bad gamuts, but I feel like I could be playing better. That's the main thing. Okay, tank died. Took them a while. We're actually making some progress this time. If we bring him under 11k, I know I'm using bad gamuts once again, but if we bring him under 11k, I think that is a threshold that we have not reached yet. I'm not going to waste a potion to try to get under 11k, but yeah, there we go. 105,000 damage, right smack in my face. I wish. So it sounds like boss 3 is where the Ethel coins start dropping on tier 1. That makes sense. I was kind of curious on that because I didn't remember just from tier 1 if Ethel coins actually dropped. But it sounds like that is going to be boss 3, and that makes sense because tier 1 is farmable. It has no like reset timer. No, maybe it does. I thought tier 1 was farmable on repeat and didn't have any locks or anything like that. But maybe it just means it resets thinking about tier 2 anyway. And I thought you could keep on looting it and all that, but again, the point is the Ithel coins I know are a big thing on tier 2. A lot of people at 130 just run and do Rockothos and you get a bunch of your Ithel coins and can barter for Scrolls of Empowerment and Starlight Crystals and Imbued Legacy Replacement Scrolls among other things. I vote the second option. Yeah, they were talking about just what we can do to learn a little bit more about this. Actually experience it for the people in the group again, all the people that haven't been here ever, just to poke their head in. But yeah, we've learned all we could about boss 1. He kills us. Here's some Haradrim. These Haradrim look a little bit tougher than the regular ones. So the big thing I remember from this, I probably shouldn't be tank spec for this. I actually shouldn't even be yellow line for this, but that's okay, we'll just keep yellow line. The big thing I remember is the trash fights. Like, these fights took forever back in the day, and that's the main thing I remember. I don't know if other people have that same experience, but that is, of all the things in the Throne of the Dreadterror, the biggest takeaway I had from it is that the trash fights took forever and were really boring. And that's why my opinion of the raid was actually pretty low compared to other ones in LOTRO at the time. Because that seemed like the main chunk of the time was spent on trash fights rather than boss fights. In addition to Rockothos being actually relatively easy and the movement kill being very chaotic and tough. Which were, of course, big parts of it. Oh, they have a shield. That looks scary. Oh well, let's just bleed them anyway. I cannot do that, I am stunned. I think I actually got a spear sweep there. And I used the boot on accident, but it doesn't really matter. I really don't need to use Onslaught right there. Well, we got through one trash group. Looks like we're already starting the next one. And I'll try to play a little bit better. I probably should be playing red line just because I know I don't play as well in the yellow line. As fun as it is, when it comes to an actual raid situation, that is when I feel like I don't quite play the yellow line as well as the red line. Okay, let's go ahead and retreat. We can keep retreating and running back though. As long as you didn't forget to use your subscribers, Doug. The Aftrolls have some corruptions. Plus 10% run speed and plus 10% melee damage. That reminds me of that one thing, the roving threat in the waste, and also is featured in where it looks like not all of them. Oh, lag. I know lag with gambits is probably going to actually be a problem here. For some reason, even FPS lag sometimes seems to make just gambit masteries not trigger. You'll see it go to the yellow and either take forever to trigger or just not trigger. And then if I'm building things really fast, it essentially works out as some gambit builders will get skipped over. Okay, time to run away. I know they have movement speed buffs, but I will just slow their movement speed. I doubt these are actually can be slowed. It looks like they can be slowed. That is surprising to me though. I guess because they're not bosses, but good old Warden Warden kiting strategy, rather. It is the Warden strategy, but it is the Warden kiting strategy. The same thing at the end of the Silent Street boss 1. Yeah, we used, and I'm using piercing toss twice in a row. Tier 2 does, at least. Yeah, my main memory, actually, aside from the bosses, is the trash fights taking forever. Like, I hate to say something bad about the raid because it is exciting, I think, but that is my main memory, just the trash fights being boring and taking forever. But I didn't have the Mytho League back then. Yeah. Looks like we got another group there. Wow, I don't think in all the gambits I used, I don't think I triggered any Barb Javelin blades. Okay. They actually are fun to me right now. Again, I do think a big issue is not having the Mytho League back then. Yeah, pretty much. So they were asking, like, because I didn't have the Mytho League, which is the kinship I have here, why I thought all the trash fights were boring and long. And I think a big part of that was not really having a kinship. Some of the people in this kinship actually used to play on Arkansas on the server I still occasionally play on, and it was on at the time of this content, but most of the people, even the people here in this current kinship and in this current group, were not playing at the time. So I was, sometimes a couple people would be on, but not really enough to consistently raid in that kinship. So most of my experience was pugs or trying to group with people that I was aware of. And I think I even bounced around some kins at one point, but never really found one I liked. Okay, I might actually be able to kite this guy if I'm not going to be lazy. Oh, almost. That is probably a situation I could have survived. And it's a really good thing I have my subscribers shug, because this would be a huge repair bill. I'd be having red armor in the middle of the raid. Slow this guy. I'm just surprised they are actually slowable, because even as an arch nemesis, I believe that is. No, that's just a regular nemesis. I should have known that was regular nemesis. Anyway, usually I think those are not slowable like this, but I guess these particular variety are. And that's again the benefit of the L line, even if I'm less familiar with it for like a really great, or at least executing the DPS of it in both single target and AoE situations. There's some iffy things there. Things like that and soloing content and kiting things is usually where I feel like I do best with it, at least. Yeah, and another thing is like group composition. We don't have like a Burglar or especially L-line lore master, which would be really helpful with raids again. That's a problem with having my musters here, like near keybinds, that I might accidentally use something like muster and Arnic. Fortunately, their induction is long. Normally, the long induction is actually, would prefer it to be shorter, of course. These trash fights are, maybe when we got deeper into the raid, maybe that's what I'm remembering, but honestly, the few groups we have had, it's not that bad. It's probably just my memory again about the kin. I wonder what happened here. Somebody died, the hunter died. I don't think the tank actually knew that we pulled it, and I thought they were pulled probably by the tank. And that is what I thought was going on there. I don't know if they actually do AoE things. I see some animations, maybe they're frontal AoEs. Well, I can't use Madden Strike from far away. That's why I am staying a little bit ranged. I have... Maybe. Is that the two brothers in South Athelion? They were too scared to take on two Mumak at once? Oh yeah, that's the main thing I remember about them. Because that was at a time where, like, killing Mumak kill was like no problem. I thought it was really funny. So they were talking about the two orange-haired people that I don't remember their names, but they were in South Athelion, and that is the main part I remember about them. There were two Mimic kill with the quest, and they really wanted to hunt down and kill like the first Mimic kill or whatever, each of them. But then there were two at once, and they were all scared, and then we had to run away and not fight them. And that was a big disappointment for me. I wonder if these guys are slowable. I honestly don't remember the mechanics. All I remember is chaos from these three Mimic kill. Ooh. Ew. Okay, running them back. They're all following me. We're taking this fight to the tank, whether he likes it or not. If Legolas can bring down one solo, you're sure I will be fine with 7. I'm glad I have people that are that confident in me that I could take down 7. 6 would probably be too tough, but just because there were 7, it would somehow make it more possible. So you DPS one for a while and kite the others and deal with the ads that drop off them. That sounds, it probably doesn't work out that way. At least in my experience, it hasn't worked out that way from when I remember running this way many years ago. But it actually sounds simple, oddly enough. Okay, I need to use my range stuff. I know there's only a 50% chance to apply the Barb Javelin Bleeds, but we'll try that. So once the Mumak kill once one Mumak actually goes below 50% morale, the reinforcements start coming. As long as the reinforcements aren't more Mumak kill. I wonder what this is. The shield. Like if there's just anything, it says the War Master or something? Maybe it's a War Master induction? Hey Lori, Gordon. So it sounds like you normally swap around which Mumak kill you DPS down. Okay. That sounds kind of like the Ostdunhoth a little bit. I think they're called Oiliphants in that sense it is. I think Mumak kill is what the Gondorans call the elephants. They're essentially elephants, but I think Oiliphants is what they are called in Ostdunhoth. But they're the same thing, as far as I know at least they're the same thing. They're giant Middle-earth elephants. Maybe they're regular sized Middle-earth elephants, but there's a fell beast it looks like. Haradrim over there. These Haradrim and half-trolls really upgraded themselves. I guess these are the ones that got their raid armor. I don't know if they probably farmed their flower gear in North Ithilien on the way over here. Like, before they stopped into Osculeth, they went a little bit north and got all their flower gear, and that's how they're so powerful. I wonder if they're slowable. I doubt they are. So you have to dodge these. Oh, I remember that. That is something I remember. I'm surprised I remember a specific mechanic like that. So one of them will go stampeding, and you have to avoid that. Oh, they share damage? I don't remember that part, though. So it sounds like they all go to 50%, I'm guessing, and that is when reinforcements come. I know it sounds simple, and with our group of 7 people, and over half of us below level 105, I really doubt it's going to go well, especially considering our attempt of Rakothos, but hopefully we can see some of that stuff. We're going over all this strategy, but kind of like before, I feel like we're not going to see hardly any of it. As exciting as it is, I don't have much confidence in our group, unfortunately. So with the captain and the other group, though, was there a reason for that that I missed? Okay. Oh yeah, I guess if he's far away. Yep, they're just sitting there. It's so nice of these Mumakil. Instead of going, they could be sieging Minas Tirith right now. But they're just sitting there taking a rest, stretching. There's a tiny Mumakil over there. Or Mumak, it's not Mumakil. If it's single. So these actually have the morale of the Warband in South Ithilien, that Mumak. These have similar morale to that one. They're going over just some of the things with the fight, so it sounds like the Mumakil. They were talking about bringing them over here, but not over here. Eventually, I think they'll get pulling. I wonder what outfit that is the captain is wearing. That is, once again, an example of an outfit I probably would not wear one of my characters, but it's a neat one. doesn't look like it matches. It almost looks like there is the bottom and top are not even the same piece. Looks like it is the same piece. Actually, leggings of the Watchman and breastplate of the Watchman it is. But maybe that's the outfit. Anyway. This looks like a super basic outfit. I kind of like it in a way. So he has the banded hauberk and cloak of Mordorith's bane. The false king of Ingmar. We were talking about Mordorith earlier. Yeah, eventually we will be pulling. The reason is we're just talking about, they're talking about pulling over here and the such. I think that is essentially what they're covering, but this is, for people that weren't here when we did like Rift and Ner'zgast, who actually did raiding with this kin, this is essentially how it goes sometimes. They just like talk over all these people. Also there's a person in the group that is new to our kinship after the Siege of Ingmar and even Mines of Moria days, and he is explaining things, and sometimes it takes a little bit long. Don't mean to call this person out, but it is usually helpful. It just takes a little bit long, I guess, is the point. So just an additional reason why sometimes raiding can go a little bit slow and there's a lot of downtime, which sometimes I like. It's something for people, again, that were here for Rift of Ner'zgast and just Siege of Ingmar days, that a lot of people are probably familiar with that. And yes, Oiliphants. I thought they were Oiliphants. It could have been Oliphants. Maybe I've been saying it wrong the whole time. Oh. A couple people got locked out, wow. Oh yeah, Mistweaver, if you are playing at 4K, I doubt you can read the chat. I wonder, let me test if they are slowable. They are immune to slows. Oh, you can reset them though. Eventually we will get going with this. Eventually, again, I think I already said this, but eventually we'll get going. To look at some stuff and not just stare aimlessly at my screen, I have a lot of 1500 item level things, or 1500 item XP things. All this stuff, should probably send this heritage to a character that can actually use it. I'm thinking my Orning and perhaps Lore Master would be the two characters that could probably use this the most. Also my Runekeeper. I should probably send this stuff to my Runekeeper. I'm going to ideally go on my Runekeeper a little bit to get some gameplay for an upcoming video that has to do with legendary items. So once again, okay, let's see how this goes. Still don't know exactly what we are doing, but focus on one and kite and all of that. Oh, I think I almost caught that sneeze. It actually made the sneeze a lot worse because I was trying to mute before I actually sneezed, and then it made the sneeze sound really weird. So sorry for that, and hopefully it was not too loud. I do have a audio limit, so it didn't go like, it shouldn't have gone way louder than rest of my like audio. Ouch. That actually did not even one-shot me. I don't know where the Guardian is, but this Moomac is chasing me. I also don't know what I'm doing for damage. Maybe I can actually safely go in melee. Or maybe not. He is facing me right now. Oh, he's trying to trample me, I think. I think I have the... Okay, so he is, yeah, he has... I have his attention, rather. It's, yeah, debuff eye. The shield is blocking the eye, I think. I am really sorry again for that sneeze. I just feel like it was probably super loud. I really don't know what I'm doing, but... This is the gigantic mess that I remember this. Honestly though, compared to the first boss, we are getting it down a little bit. I still don't know what I'm doing besides running around and trying to avoid things that are not slowable. Oh, there's that big smash. But yeah, we got them down, I think this one around 2 million. So on the road, the Moomac, and there, oh, they're the stampeding ones, okay. The pathing Moomacs there, they run there. I honestly feel like compared to, of course, the first boss, having more people is a big help, and this one, of course, it still would be a help, but I think it's more pronounced for the first boss because of the distributed damage. But considering our experience on the first boss, I feel like we did really great on that one in comparison. Yeah, if they were slowable, that would be a big help, but they aren't. Maybe. Were we going to try this one again at all, or? Yeah, there was an issue, I think, when the Stampeding Moomac kill came out. Avoiding those. I think they path along the road is what it sounds like. Yeah, there were a bunch more that came out. So, yeah, when I ran this, which was very limited experience again, I remember everybody standing actually way in the back of the room, but I do not know. Back of the field. I don't think this is really a room. Okay. Like, way behind them near those bushes and that broken down siege machine area. Okay, just in general, roads are bad. Maybe that's one reason a lot of the groups I went with just ran way back there. I don't know if it matters just to avoid the road mainly for the Stampeding Moomac kill. My inventory, it's just something when we are during downtimes like this, I feel like I need to do something. So I just end up staring at my inventory thinking and wonder what I can do with everything. That is why I like just put my head here and I'm like, what can I do with my inventory? But I don't think there's anything I can really do with it, and it really bothers me since my inventory is so full right now. Somewhat organized, not really organized. I get to go to the ugly bushes, yay. I was planning, as I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, I thought it would be a relatively short stream. I was just going to end it when the kin activities ended. But we are actually going relatively long for us, which is probably something we should honestly get used to as a group if we're going to be running this raid with any sort of regularity, because I know it can take a long time to run through, and it's something like back during the once again Siege of Angmar, Rift of Mir's-Gashu, we would sometimes have streams, or sometimes just have sessions. Oop. Yeah, on the east. The east. Yeah, like if you open the map, the far east side there is, from what I remember, groups doing. I wonder, I doubt I have any of that streamed or on YouTube. I'm actually curious if I look way back on my channel if I actually did anything with this. But I don't think I did. I wasn't really, at this point, all that active with YouTube and doing raids and group content. I don't know. I just remember the chunk of us staying on the far east, and then maybe there was somebody else kiting around. I don't remember that detail as much. They are running through the rock there. I don't think that's supposed to happen. Those are some magical Rohirrim. But yeah, the big detail is just avoiding the stampeding Mumakil on the road. I don't have my DPS cloak equipped. Let's fix that. I also don't think I have my DPS earring equipped. Let's fix that as well. Oh, they're targeting me. So I think we're getting set. Koshi. Must face target. There we go. Too far away. Oh, I have aggro on one. No, Jimmy has aggro on one. The Dink has aggro on two of them? Honestly, don't remember anymore. But either way, it looks like we are focusing on Kud Nurpag. And it looked like my javelin animations, I was like shooting near his rear end, but that is not the case anymore. I wonder where everybody in the group is. Everybody is still like way west still, it looks like. Also, I have aggro on this mimic. I don't think I have the eye either, I just have some aggro. That wasn't that great. From my perspective at least, that wasn't that great. Wonder who we have Do Not Fall on. Probably the captain if I had to guess. I almost forgot we had a Runekeeper, to be honest. Oh well, I did what I could there. At least I felt like I did what I could. Everybody is still pretty much alive. Except for me. Yeah, I got slapped. My group is still doing fine. That's why I feel like this is a big fail of a run, but so far everybody else is alive. The hunter might be a little bit scared, but people are fine overall. Yeah, maybe stomped is better than slapped to describe what happened to me. I think also our tank, the one that's supposed to have aggro on one Mumak, has aggro on two. Wonder if one strategy could be me on tank instead of the captain. And I would pull two Mumakil and then kite them. I wonder if that would be an option. There's that stampeding Mumak, by the way. There are a couple of them, one off in the distance. Yeah, don't know, y'all are probably busy with the fight, but if you see the stampeding Mumak and the path that is taking there, I think that is what to avoid. getting them down. I think last time we got one before their health linked together. We got it down to... One of them was down to around 2 million last time, but it looks like as a group they're about 3 million this time. Oh yeah, there is one right there. There's so many Mumik on this. There's actually a stampeding one that spawns right there. Looks like the captain's still up. I wonder, there are probably maps of where you can... Well, I don't know with LOTRO, but maybe there are maps of like safe places to stay in. Yeah. Yeah, I ran this, I don't remember how many times, but I just remember getting stuck on this fight with most groups I tried to pug with. I will say though, still, it seems like we're doing great, especially considering our experience with Rakothos. So there are actually maps of the Mimic fight. Yeah, I was going to say, maybe we still might beat this anyway, or Banna might. There's Banna. So there are, yeah, I think I already commented that there are. Let me actually look. 3 tanks. That post. First thing that comes up with Google. Oops. Looking at that. Sounds like you could do 3 tanks, 1 on each Mumak. And then maybe another option is 1 tank and then another one to kite the other 2 Mumak hill. I know Datus LOTRO Guides has some things like that. I can check to see if they have anything for this. Okay, map. All that. I did find a map from Datus LOTRO Guide, so... Oh no, it's trying to tell us something. So I did put a map on Discord for the Stampeding Mumak. It looks like there are a few safe areas. Okay, it looks like we're getting these ads. It looks like the boss room, the boss field is a little bit glitched. I tried sweeping, but I don't know if I actually did get a sweep off. Let's see. That bleed, I am guessing, that is just regular spear bleed. I was also thinking I could possibly do the kiting, because that way you all can have the buffs from Banna and the such, and I can do my regular range stuff, maybe. Oh, we still have these guys fighting. I wasn't paying too much attention to what was actually going on, just thinking about the possibilities of that Mumakil boss fight and what we... Okay, this guy is scary. He needs to be rooted and not use that. Used Javelin of Deadly Force on accident when I meant to use Hampering Javelin, which would have rooted him and slowed him. One of them's chasing after me. I don't know if it was that one though. Okay, I'm in the range stance. I don't know if there's much point in removing the corruptions, but that is something I will try to do a little bit of here. It will slow them down at least, but it could just be better to focus on killing them at this point. That was the strategy that... Oh, there's the fast one. He's like a dwarf, a natural sprinter. I think that half troll runs almost as fast as you, Jimmy, with all the corruptions. Okay, got him rooted at least for a little bit, and I will focus him down. I was going to focus him down, but then he got out of line of sight. Oh, so it sounds like they're not despawning the ads. Is maybe what happened there, and that's why it bugged out. It could just be if we all leave the instance and come back in, maybe it'll reset itself. So, yeah, it sounds like we might be wrapping up with this and not spending all the time to get another try at it of trying to get the door working again, but yeah, that was fun. It does not look like there's any way to glitch in. I can keep trying, but I don't think I will actually make it in there. Anyway, as far as this stream goes, that will be everything I actually have for this, and we will get wrapped up with this so I can do some other things. Plus, we have been going a long time. It's been about 3.5 hours for these streams, so that was a good length for a stream, I feel like. Just doing mainly group content with my kinship, but I think we actually ultimately spend more time on this character, even though I call this like a Burgling Annuminas, just to start that series and get it introduced in something that I will be wanting to do in the future, going through Annuminas on my Burglar and all the quests there. And we'll be doing Annuminas as a kin. Our Grand Lobby progression group is what it's called. We'll be doing that on them. And the last thing I want to do, just while I'm doing some outro stuff with this so you all can see, because it's been curiosity that has come up, is what the Anorian crafting has as far as the waist go. Just have to remind myself, see if my tailor has that. It's my Runekeeper. Yep. Yep, thanks, and good night, everyone. And it looks like LOTRO crashed. So maybe that is telling me it is time to completely wrap up with the stream, but I will go ahead and try to go back in and get back on my Runekeeper. In the meantime, while that comes up, oh, it looks like my webcam is actually, oh. Okay, we are back, but, oh, it's not letting me log in right now. That is the problem that is going on. Anyway, to briefly review what we did today in the stream, we started with Annuminas on my Burglar, and then we did the Silent Street did that a couple times on my Warden, and then poked our head into Throne of Dreadtear and actually ultimately spent a decent amount of time there. But didn't really make much progress, which we didn't really expect as a 7-man group with over half the people, 4 of the 7 actually being below level 105. Didn't really expect to make much progress or be able to do hardly anything in that at all. But I still think what we did, especially with the 3 Movement Kill fight, was actually surprisingly good. I did not expect us to do anything basically against the Movement Kill, and it proved me wrong. I guess when you don't have to deal with distributed damage, when you only have 7 people, that is a benefit. Also just realized one option we could have done with Thrakothos was had all 7 people stacked together on the same time and just same side and just let everybody take the frontal damage. But setting that idea aside, that is what we did today. And as an update for future content, I don't know if I will get to a stream tomorrow. If I do, then that'll be great, and maybe do the waste on my Warden. But if I don't, I am hoping I will at the very least post a channel update in my community tab on my channel as a post on YouTube, so y'all can be aware of what is going on. But next week I intend to have a little bit of a break from YouTube, but I am hoping, this is one thing I essentially have to do tomorrow, and I'm not sure I will get around to it, is I have to edit videos for that, and I'm hoping I can get that. So what I want to look at is Host of the West, I believe, Gondorian Garments. And you can use this to get the crit chance, and then I'll make the gold ones. So I'm going to take a screenshot of this. Of course, there's probably all this information on the LOTRO wiki and even elsewhere, but this is what I am going to look at. And I will take a screenshot of all this so I'm actually familiar with this and can know what I need to do to get the waist gear, and essentially remind myself what is going on there. Oh, you can use a universal optional crafting ingredient for that? That could actually be very useful for this. Anyway, that essentially solves the problem there. Also for the wild essences, that is going to be from Bolt of Ithilien Cloth, a universal solvent, and a plain old teal Ithilien essence. Okay, I remember the essences, as I keep repeating throughout all this, I remember that being the big grind for level 105, not necessarily the essence armor, but the essences. So hopefully that is not the case, and there are some easier sources for essences. Like when we start running level 105 stuff, I'm hoping that actual essences will drop, like the regular purple ones that may not be the best, but be something that is kind of acceptable and much better than the level 100 ones, at least is my hope. But anyway, that is all I'm going to have for the stream, and again, I will have more updates on what is going on, at the very least in a post, but even potentially a video. I will say I am planning to have a video scheduled for maybe the morning on Sunday, so I can actually be there, and the chat will be another tier list style video, probably on leveling as the focus for that one. And again, that is all I have for this video, so we can enjoy the Starry Night here in Bree. And as far as the stream goes though, I hope you all did enjoy it, and if you did, please consider liking and subscribing for more, or becoming a channel member to support the content. And thanks for joining and chatting and watching, everyone.